I'm that Cyclops Guy. I'm pretty sure you can figure out why they call me that. Or not. You can find me on all of the socials, including Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube with that_Cyclops_Guy. I'm a variety streamer. I play a ton of different games, everything from Tetris to Grand Theft Auto and everything in between.
Let's do this. Hey everyone, KoimiaX here. Dad by day, gamer by night, sometimes streamer, aka old man. I give the hot takes here at Garbage In, Garbage Out that nobody has asked for. I am a variety streamer that has been streaming for 13 years now. I've been on every big platform and several small ones that don't exist anymore. If you want the most recent up-to-date information about me, just follow me on Twitter at KoimiaX. I like to collect autographed Funko Pops, football jerseys, and comics.
What's up, losers? Neo-deth here, and welcome to my graveyard. I'm the third host of Garbage In, Garbage Out. We've been doing this for 3 months with all of us together. I've also been streaming the same amount of time. I stream on Twitch and then repost daily on YouTube, so go check those out. Fun little fact about me is I also love Lego. We've been having a blast doing this, communicating with fans, and also talking about gaming and entertainment news from the week.
And we would like to welcome you
to
Garbage In, Garbage Out.
That's an awesome intro. What's with the skeleton there?
Oh, sorry. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
We got things to do. I
Anyway.
forgot I had that thing from a while ago, so I was like, I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I know we're a little late getting started. It's let's just blame Koimia.
Okay.
Sure.
No.
Good to see we found our eye. We hate it when we lose that.
Fine. There you go. Yeah, I was out last week. It was my wife and I. It was our anniversary. It was
anniversary because those don't come every year or something.
Yeah, whatever. Now we decided to go to Koimia's favorite place. Actually, we went to Buck-ees.
I've never been. Sorry for your loss.
Well, whatever. If they come to Wisconsin, they are going to give Quick Trip a run for their money. But then again, you could always just jump ship and go get a job there. They have benefits and excellent play.
They're trying to come to Wisconsin, and it ain't happening. The town that they want to be built in is fighting it. And,
they wanted to go to Madison.
Yeah, and Madison said no.
DeForest.
And so DeForest, and DeForest, the town is like fighting it because the amount of money and foot traffic to just build the damn thing, the town doesn't want it. So
yeah, it would bring in so much money.
We got our first comment here. Wild Wolf coming in. At least he spends time with his wife. Sounds just like that, too. Little Wolf 99.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Just passing through before I jump on some games. What place is that trying to go up there?
They're trying to bring Buck-ees. And everybody's all like, oh, it'll give Quick Trip a run for its money. And do you know how many gas stations Quick Trip has like shut down in this state alone? Like speedways don't exist anymore. Like Mobile is the only one now because I mean BP is gone pretty much. Speedway is going the way of the Buffalo. 7-Eleven doesn't even dare set foot up here. You know, like
I was in Madison for 7 years, and you're mentioning gas stations that were all there.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone. So
my bad. It's Ill Wolf.
Ill Wolf.
No, it's old man.
You're right.
So yeah, and Buc-ee's it's pretty much a gas station. It's a convenience store Disneyland. It's got it's and that's how I explained it. It's like convenience store Disneyland, but you go there and I mean they actually make
experience.
pretty much. I mean, they make their own beef jerky in-house right in front of you. They'll make their own sandwiches right there in front of you. They have brisket sandwiches. They'll have a 3-meat sandwich, which is like brisket and I want to say it's turkey and I want to say pulled pork. And then they have those sandwiches separate. Then they make their own fudge in-house. They make their own tacos and tortillas in-house. They'll do it all right in front of you. They've got a gift shop that's got like all kinds of Buc-ee stuff, and then they have like another massive gift shop in there, which is a lot like I would say kind of like a Home Goods, but like not with the clothes and stuff because they sell the Buc-ee shirts and stuff like that. But and then they make their own sodas, they make their own Slurpees, they make a lot of their own stuff. It's really a lot of fun to go there.
It's overrated.
No, whatever. You've never even been there.
While Wolf comes back, I want to go to Buc-ee's so bad. Spelled wrong, but that's it.
It's with this place, it's BUC-EES, and I was wondering if they go to Madison, how are they going to compete with Buc-ee Badger?
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna get confused.
It's an overrated Disneyland of a convenience store.
Oh, whatever. You've never even been there.
They don't even fucking cater to truckers. They won't allow truckers. No, they don't. They do not allow trucks like semis and things cannot fuel at a Buc-ee's.
What?
They have 127 fucking gas pumps, but they don't cater to truckers. And then Illwolf here talking about the Wish version of Quick Trip with the queue. Which I agree.
If in areas where it's Quick Trip with a Q and it's actually spelled right, that's where you guys are known as Quick Star.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's not spelled right. I mean, the Quick Trip with a K is not spelled right, but
no. I'm saying like the ones where it is with a Q is where you guys are known as Quick Star.
Well, yeah.
As you know, we got a Quick Trip guy here, so he's going to fight Buc-ee's, even though he's never stepped foot in one. And they
I think he's going to fight all of them.
It's just like the argument about pizza, which is better, the Cheese Mountain or Casey's Pizza. And Casey's Pizza is shit. I don't know why everybody is always like, oh, their pizza is the best. It's just like,
it's not the best, but I would say out of gas station food, it's up there. But I actually like your guys' pizza better than Casey's, though.
The Cheese Mountain brand,
yeah,
the ones they make in La Crosse. So,
but
they actually have another pizza. It's called Christ, what is it called now? Pothole Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's kind of like the official sponsor. I mean, everything is the official sponsor of the Green Bay Packers up here, but Pothole Pizza is what they actually serve at Lambeau Stadium, and those pizzas are actually really damn good. So,
yeah, when I worked at Road Ranger, they had pretty good pizza there. By the slice, they didn't sell it whole pizza like you guys do.
Mm-hmm. We do both the slices and the whole pizzas.
You guys have those really good. What are those Bosco sticks? They have the cheese in them.
Yep.
Yeah, my wife is absolutely obsessed with those. So,
but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff at Quick Trip.
There's a lot of good stuff at Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Yeah, I knew I spelled it wrong. And then Illwolf is stupid ads cut you guys off 1 and 4. Oh my god, guess that's my cue. You know how you stop that? You subscribe.
I was giving Luther a hard time about that last night because I was watching him, and in like an hour span, I had 4 ad breaks. I'm like, Jesus. I even told him, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, your ads. And he's like, I did the bare minimum of what they said, and da da da. I said, no, it's cool, get that bread, but damn,
That's how you get around that. And also, we are on Spotify. If you don't want to look at these ugly mugs, you can listen to these lovely voices.
Everyone calls me ma'am. Apparently, I have a woman's voice.
Very, very feminine. Yep. Couldn't tell.
I mean, I have a job working in a call center, and everyone's like, "Hello, ma'am," and I'm like, "No, you're the only ma'am on the phone," and it's like a dude with a deep voice. Like, well, I'm not a ma'am. I was like, well, then I guess neither one of us
Maybe
are.
they expect it to be a man.
That's what I'm thinking, because the kind of job I have, I mean, you get either a dude with a super deep voice, somebody you can't understand, or a woman.
Hey,
or a woman.
He's already broken.
What's going on?
What do you mean he's broken? Oh.
The skeleton is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You broke the skeleton. You killed the skeleton.
What'd you do to him?
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
But yeah, it's been. How was your week?
Hi, Wild Wolf. Mine's been okay. It's been really, really hectic. Like I said, I've been putting a lot of things together for the show. We've got a guest coming on in a couple of weeks, a doctor who's going to be talking about the psychology of using video games and games like Dungeons and Dragons to help heal trauma. And then, of course, you know, with it being such a scorching hot time, I don't know what it is by you guys. I know you guys are much further north. But yeah, it's been a scorcher here, so we've been just really trying to not go outside, but eventually having to go outside sometimes.
I mean, the last couple days have been really hot, but I mean, right now it's 82. Feels like 80.
In the 90s and fucking humid as fuck.
That's how it's been the last couple days. It's finally cooled down. We've had some great storms roll through, but
yeah, by where we're at, it's finally in the 80s, and they're saying that the humidity is going to cut down, but we could get some strong storms later tonight. And then they're saying, I guess it's supposed to be cooler the beginning of next week, but then I don't know if it's going to go back up. So, and who knows? I mean, at this point, the weather forecast could be wrong when you're going 7 days out. But
yeah, we're supposed to possibly get some storms tonight as well too, but I'm hoping not because I have a new game I want to stream. So
that's right. You don't turn on your computer during a storm, right?
Oh, I don't turn on any of my systems. I mean, I'll turn on my TV, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I way back in the. I mean, granted, now everything is in power strips and things like that. You know, surge protectors, but I still don't want to risk it because back in the day, I've lost like 2 or 3 computers because I was gaming while storming and.
Wow.
It would fry my motherboard.
I've never had the problem. My surge protectors have always protected.
Well, this is back in surge protectors. Who needs that? You know,
right? You
now,
learned your lesson. Hopefully,
I mean, it took me 2 or 3 computers to learn that lesson. Yes, I did learn my lesson.
Do you guys ever watch?
You have to learn it.
Do you guys ever watch the streamer Imp Black Belt?
Nope.
No.
So he was a guest on the show when we were Garbage In, Garbage Out. Or Garbage In, Garbage Out. When we were Goes Nowhere
right now.
When we were Go No Dono, Goes Nowhere Does Nothing, and he actually showed us a clip. Apparently, he was playing with his Nintendo. I want to say it was the Nintendo GameCube, and he said it was storming outside, and the lightning strike hit like really close to his home, and apparently he got zapped through his controller.
I believe it.
And even though he doesn't have a camera on there, you could hear it. He was sitting there and you could hear the boom outside, and it was like boom, and he's like ah! Like that, and he actually threw the controller. And I was surprised that the connection stayed for so long. It was actually on there, and then suddenly it cut. And he said that when he tried to turn the system back on, his computer worked just fine. Even his GameCube worked just fine, but the controller was fried. And then he actually had a mark on his hand because he just happened to be touching the little screw part on the controller.
Wow.
Looker popping in says 1 bar internet checking out the podcast. It's like 64-bit graphics on my ATM.
Yay, those are the best graphics.
So right now you're hearing us go, and then we're going, and then...
But on the storm thing, I have a buddy that I used to work with who would, whenever it would storm, he would never take a shower. I'm like, the fuck? He's like, yeah, the lightning, if it strikes, it could get me. I'm like, when
It's
the
true.
fuck does this happen?
So I was actually just telling my wife about that because I was going to get ready for work one night, and I'm like, hopefully it's not storming so I can take a shower. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, you're not
Right?
supposed to shower when you take, when it's storming. She's like, I've never heard that. And I'm like, my mom used to tell me that back in the day. Like, I'm for the longest time, like, oh, she's just, scaring me or using it as a myth or blah, 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 blah. If you Google that, it tells you, like, not to shower while it's storming.
Okay, I always give him shit. Like when it starts storming, I'll message him. I'm gonna go get in the shower.
It's like it's supposedly the lightning strike can travel through the water pipes and come up through your shower head and zap you.
Mhm.
What are the fucking chances of that? But that also on that note, there was somebody that got struck with lightning here last week. I think in Florida. It was their fucking honeymoon, got struck by lightning while on the beach, and died.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
I think-
the chances of all that, and then you get married, you're like, yeah! Ugh.
What god did you piss off? What did you do
Right.
wrong in a past life
What
that you
the
deserve?
fuck did you do?
Who was the bride that got hit?
What was that?
Was it the groom or the bride that got hit?
I think it was the groom.
I
Yeah.
hope she has a pre.
Right. Or like he had insurance or something.
I think the bride got hit too because she was standing next to him, but he was the one that took the direct hit, and she got hurt, if I remember right, but she survived.
Yeah, I read that story. I was like, no fucking way is that.
Yeah,
Oh my god. The luck on that one.
The shower during a storms thing. That's I've heard the same thing growing up, and so your friend ain't wrong.
No, he is, because I still give him shit. I still go take a shower during the fucking storm. I don't give a fuck. If that's the fucking chance that I'm gonna die in the shower with lightning, then I'm gonna get a nice little article like the other guy did, right?
I mean, it's better than slipping on soap and breaking your neck or something, I guess.
But they also
Right.
say during a lightning storm you're not supposed to stand next to your window. Like
it's
like
gonna
it
come through the window and hit you.
It can. It's again a very small chance, but like if you're standing next to your
I want to
window,
know the percentages of these.
I've never heard that one. I've heard the don't stand under a tree, but I've never heard the next to a window.
So when we were just talking about gas stations, so there was a day the storm had just rolled through. It was like middle of the day, and the storm came through and made it look like it was night outside. And we got the phone call, and Koimia, I know that you can attest to this. You don't know when the gas prices are going to go up or down. You just get a phone call and you're told to put them up or down, right?
It comes through as a computer alert, but yeah.
Yeah. So okay, well back when I was there.
It's like we don't even adjust it. We just get the alert saying, "Hey, prices are now this." Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't have one of those electronic ones that you can just adjust it inside, you have to go outside and take this metal rod and move it and stuff like that.
That's the old days.
Yeah. So this was back in like 2011, and I worked at Road Ranger, and so this storm had just come in, made basically day turn into night. We could hear the rumbles of thunder, and it was starting to rain. It hadn't started pouring, but it was starting to rain. We get the phone call, and they're like, "Hey, gas prices are $2.65, whatever it was." And my boss walks up to me and he's like, "Adam, you're going to have to change the gas prices." I stopped working with the customer. I looked at him and I was like, so there's lightning outside. You get a phone call for this, and you want me to go outside and stick a giant metal rod in the air? And the customers all around me busted out laughing. And I was like, it's been a while since grade school, but I'm pretty sure we were taught that's a bad thing to do. And he started laughing. He's like, you don't do it now. Wait until the storm is done. And I was like, storms can hit you up to 30 miles away. You can get electrocuted. And he's like, yeah, and that's why we're going to wait. But you still are going to have to go change it. And I'm like, God dang it.
At our store, it's like, if there's even thunder, we tell the people, who are about to go outside and change the trash bags. We're like, nope, hold off. Just wait. If the can is overflowing by the end of the night, who cares? You're safe. So.
Looker came back and said, "I can't tell if you're trolling me or I'm lagging at the moment when you were stuttering."
The answer is
yes. Yes.
It was probably a little bit of both.
He called it a Pikachu bath.
Mm-hmm. Pikachu.
Have you seen that meme?
What,
It's Ash hugging Pikachu in a bath, and it says Pikachu use Thunderbolt. And I'm just like, oh my god.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, that one cracked me up. It's just Pikachu use Thunderbolt.
There was a video that went viral online. It's two guys in the grocery store. They look like they're about ready to start fighting, like literally, like about ready to throw fists. And all of a sudden, you hear them yell like, "Pikachu, I choose you!" And like some guy comes into the frame and starts going like this.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? That they were probably bored, which is most likely how those kind of videos start. They were most likely bored, and at least they gave that town something fun to. I mean, because you see, like, people have huge smiles on their faces. They're walking out. Even the cashiers are just sitting there like, "What the hell just happened?" But that was awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish something like that would happen around here. Of course, around here, if something like that were to start happening, somebody would probably pull a gun.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah. And, I see Looker said something here.
Yeah. Yep, I've heard that one too. So.
You can measure the distance of lightning and thunder by counting the seconds from when you hear it, 1 second per kilometer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you go if you go like 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 3 miles away. It's.
Yep.
But yeah,
if that's actually true, or if that's just like another one of those urban legends.
I've heard that.
I mean, I've heard it. I'm sure everybody's heard it, but we don't know if it's actually like that's something MythBusters needs to fucking come back and do, or they already did it, one or the other.
Yeah, it's just like when they say that you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. It's like that's actually a myth. You just drink when you're thirsty, and actually water toxicity has increased since people started thinking that. So now you're going to drink 8 bottles of water a day.
But my first one.
That's your first. Really? I haven't. I have a feeling that's not the first thing you've drank today.
No.
I've had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I just had a cup of coffee. I think I got through a big thing of water I have.
But yeah, we got to start the show off on some sad notes here. Seems like we always have to start them on sad notes here. I know, neo-deth, you brought this one to our attention. Rick Hurst from the Dukes of Hazzard has died at the age of 79. We got a lot of celebrities dying recently.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard, and
Yeah.
he's also the son or the dad of Ryan, which I did not know. I did not make that connection until someone said it in once he passed. Someone put it in the chat. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he was Deputy Hogg. Wasn't that Burt Reynolds' character in the movie? Didn't he play the deputy? Or he was the main guy, the main villain. I think the deputy was kind of like a little side character.
Yeah,
I never was a Dukes of Hazzard fan, so
why does that not fucking track?
You seem like the one that would be the biggest Dukes of Hazzard fan, honestly.
Whatever.
I mean, Dukes of Hazzard was fun as a kid.
No, I could never get into it. Even as a kid, like I would go to my great aunt's house, and she would turn on, TV Land or whatever, and I could never get into Dukes of Hazzards. I was more of an Andy Griffith guy, to be honest with you.
That's another good one.
I got into that one. Never got into
Barney Fife, like
what was the other
in his fucking peak?
Yeah, there was 3 during TV Land day, back in the heyday. It was Dukes of Hazzards, Andy Griffith, and there was another one that I couldn't get into as well. I don't remember.
When I first started watching a lot of shows like that, it was like Mork and Mindy was my favorite.
I like Mork and Mindy. Yep, that was a great one.
I'll admit, I don't think I've ever watched Mork and Mindy. It was never
No?
like one of those ones that like got reran when
Mhm.
I was watching. So that one, I don't think I ever saw.
See, I was surprised to find out that Mork and Mindy was actually a spin-off of Happy Days. Because it's like, how does a show about an alien coming to Earth be a spin-off of a 1950s? But it was one episode in there.
Yeah, it was
That's
one
another one I couldn't
episode
get
where
into.
he showed up. Happy Days was kind of like a hit or miss. Like if I felt like it, okay, I'd watch it. If not, then go to the next channel.
I also think that a lot of it was like what my parents would watch.
Right.
Mhm.
Sure.
I mean, you know, like my dad and mom both loved Andy Griffith. And you know, my dad, he was a huge like BBC fan, so it's like I grew up watching Benny Hill, Monty Python, you know,
That's
things
where
like
comes
that.
from. Okay.
And you know, and then as I got older, you know, back when I mean, it's still good, but back when it was peak, you know, Simpsons,
Mm.
Married with Children, you know, those were the things I grew up on. So.
Yeah, those are the ones we all grew up with. I grew up because I didn't really have like a father. My parents divorced when I was really young, so I didn't have a father in the home. And then I was always watching Nick at Night when my mom was out there watching like things that you know that now we think are pretty tame, but were too much for kids back then.
You know what I fucking loved was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes,
that was
from day
fantastic.
one.
Yes. That was fantastic. And you know what cracks me up is like they tried to bring Goosebumps to the television, and I'm like, this just stick with the books for Goosebumps. But Are You Afraid of the Dark is just that was fantastic.
I was a Goosebumps fan too, and I actually liked the Jack Black movie that they had, you know, of several years ago. I never saw the sequel, but I did like the movie. And I okay, so you brought up Goosebumps though. Have you watched on Netflix? Have you watched the R.L. Stine Fear Street movies that they've been putting out?
Yeah,
No,
I watched
Netflix.
I watched the first 3. I haven't seen the latest one.
Yeah,
Those are book series too, though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure those were books. Yeah,
because Goosebumps was more aimed at younger kids, and and Fear Street was more like young adult.
Yeah. No, I have not seen any of those.
They're actually really good.
Yeah, like you know, for that, but that's the thing though, is like, you know, you would think that they would try and tone it down because it was like, oh, these were based on young adult novels. It's like, no, they realized the people who are interested in this are the ones who grew up, who are in their 30s and 40s now. So they're like, you know what, let's show the blood, let's show the gore, and they go straight for the R rating. That's kind of what I respect about Netflix sometimes, because they understand their audience a lot of times.
I was laughing. So today I was on Disney Plus, and they have like a section that was like things that are on Hulu that you can watch through Disney Plus, even if you don't have Hulu. And I was laughing my ass off because one of the recommended things for me from Hulu was Idiocracy. I was like, Idiocracy on Disney Plus. What the hell? No.
It's scary. Right? We watched, you know, movies like Idiocracy and Office Space when we were kids, going like, "Oh, this is so silly." And it's like we got older and we're like, "Oh shit, this is so accurate."
I've been a firm believer that Idiocracy is going to end up just being a goddamn documentary by the time this is over, and when I'm dead, Idiocracy, like my grandkids and their kids. Idiocracy is going to be a documentary. It's not even going to be a movie. It's a documentary.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know the Crocs that they use in there for the shoes?
Mm-hmm.
So I read a story that one of the producers saw those shoes online. I think they were like a startup at the time. And he was like, shoes with holes in them? This is never going to take anywhere. This is the stupidest thing ever, but it's going to fit this movie. It'll be a giant parody. We'll give them, you know, people will think about it, and then it'll be done by about a week. And then once they put them on, as soon as that movie showed them, that's when their popularity took off. And now there's people still wearing them.
Oh yeah,
like,
I hate them.
Oh, I've tried wearing them, and I'm like, I can't walk in these things.
I think they're the ugliest thing ever. I secretly laugh at every guest that comes into my store that's wearing them, and they're honestly, in my opinion, one step. I don't even know if I want to say above or below, but people who come in or who go out in public, and if my viewers are these people, I'm sorry, but do not fucking leave the house in your slippers. It's annoying as hell. So
Yep, I see people walking around in Walmart in their like bunny slippers. My job before we got sent home and started doing it as a work from home job, we had a woman that would come in all the time, and I'm not even kidding because we had no dress code. They wouldn't send you home unless you were pretty much stark naked. And we had a girl that would always come in full like Pepto-Bismol like pink jammies and bunny slippers, and her hair was all this. It's like it looks like she just rolled out of bed and came to work.
Most of them probably did. Yeah. No, when I used to work at Walmart, and I'd see people coming in, the shoppers. I mean, people of Walmart website was great, but
yes.
And it's like I've seen people they would come in like literally a tank top, boxer shorts, bathrobe, and slippers. And I'm just like, make an attempt, Jesus Christ. And sometimes even these people were coming in for job interviews. I'm like, what? No. Yeah, right. It's like, I'm just...
You really think I'm hiring you looking like that for an interview?
Right. Even though this is Walmart, like, yeah, you fit the clientele, but just, Now, having said that, when I worked at Walmart, they, everybody likes to bash that company. Rightfully so, but like they did take care of, not when I was there, they did take care of their employees, as far as like benefits and things like that. So like I said, when I was there.
Right. All right. Shenanigans comments on here, and thank you, Shenanigans, for joining. They are useful for gardening, you can hose them off and leave them outside. That's about it.
Crocs they're talking about.
There you go. Yeah.
What's the name of that
use for them? Good gardening shoe.
Don't you think they should be sold in the gardening section then?
I mean, I'm sure there probably are pairs in the gardening section.
Yes, I mean that location. I was kind of joking. I was kind of joking with my wife recently. I was like, like you say, the Crocs should be in the gardening section. I was kind of joking with her, and ladies, I'm totally kidding here, but I told her, I said, where they should put the chocolate bars? They should put that right next to the menstruation section, and chocolate sales would go through the roof.
Through the roof.
It's like, don't, I'm no disrespect, but tell me I'm wrong. I was also like, in the video game section, they should put like, like a little freezer, a little fridge area, and sell Coke and Pepsi and, pizza rolls. And
there was a store in my town that did that. Actually, they in their video game section, they had a little cooler. Now, at the time, it was a crossover promotion, but they had a little Red Bull cooler with Street Fighter characters on it, because like Street Fighter and Red Bull were doing some crossover promotion, and so they had a Red Bull cooler in the video game section, and then they had like a 6 foot, not even a 6 foot, but like a 4 foot end cap that had like little bags of chips and bottles of Mountain Dew and shit like that. And I'm like, this person gets it. Whoever sent this planogram, this person fucking gets it.
When I was in Madison, we walked into a Walmart, and I'm not even kidding. I saw like a $5 pair of women's underwear, which was like 10 pairs. And then there was a thing of Snapple, and right next to it was like cheap ass flip flops. And I was like, in what fucking universe does this planogram make sense?
Well, I can't speak on Walmart's behalf for that one, but I know like Target will have that lead-in section, like when you first walk in, and they always put their lead-ins right there, and so I mean, I don't know, maybe the clientele of that Walmart is a lot of ladies who need to buy underwear. I don't know, but so if they're putting that in their lead-in section, it's obviously a hot seller or something.
I put a picture on there, and I actually did a little video, and I actually put it up there, and there was guys going like, "Well, I like to lay around in women's panties and sandals and drink Snapple," and I was like, okay, I know a little too much about you now.
Okay, go do that in the privacy of your own home.
All I can think of is that like scene in that '70s show where he's like, "Panties, Donna, panties." Like,
wait, how did we go from talking about Rick Hurst?
Yeah, we would definitely got off track with that one.
I mean,
Shenanigans
Squirrel-
comes back. No idea. I just bought Temu knockoffs. Nice.
Oh, okay.
That's a great name, by the way, Shenanigans. All I can think of is Super Troopers. What's the name of that
Shenanigans.
with goofy shit on the walls? You mean Shenanigans? Oh.
But yeah, so Rick Hurst, he did quite a lot. You know, of course, he was one of the main characters on Dukes of Hazzard. He did quite a lot of other stuff other than Dukes of Hazzard, but that's the main role he's known for. You know what? We have one more death to talk about, so we'll do controllers up for both of them at the end. How about that?
Okay.
But yep, so rest in peace to Rick Hurst. And then Koimiya, you brought this one up in our private group chat, and this one pissed me off. And you'll know why here. You'll know why here in just a second.
He looks confused.
I am confused. I don't remember bringing a death one up.
Yeah, YouTuber Mikayla Raines.
I didn't bring that up.
Well, one of you posted that.
That might have been me.
Oh, okay.
I've heard about it, but
yes, this was very frustrating with all this.
it was online bullying, wasn't it?
Here.
Yep.
Yeah. She died by suicide. She was the founder of Save a Fox Wildlife Rescue for Animal Sanctuary. She died by suicide following negative online commentary, basically a nicer way of saying online bullying by assholes. Her husband announced she was only 29.
Or Trump supporters.
Yeah. But yeah, she got a lot of this, and she was the kind of person that took a lot of the like the comments to heart. You know me, I've been picked on my whole life, so I'm like, yeah, be an asshole, whatever. I don't care. But there's a lot of people.
I mean,
find bully her about. I mean, she started this charity thing for animals. Like, I mean, who doesn't like animals? You know, like what would they bully her about?
I know a lot of people were also saying like, well, you're an online, figurehead, so you should be able to take it. No, that's not how that fucking works. You don't get to just spout off whatever you want just because I'm online.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not how that works at all.
No, it shouldn't be. But it says here she was the founder of Save a Fox Rescue Animal Sanctuary, died by suicide. Her husband confirmed she was 29. Ethan shared the news in an emotional post. I'm sorry. Shared the news in an emotional video posted to the rescue's social media page where he detailed how his wife struggled with cruelty she faced online. This time it went too far. She couldn't bear what she was feeling any longer and ended her life. Ethan, who shares a daughter, Freya, with Mikayla, said through tears in a video shared to the rescue social media platform June 23rd, and it breaks my heart that someone who is selfless and devoted her life to animals could have so much negativity pointed at her. To those that pushed her to this, Ethan, who said had attempted CPR on his wife for 15 minutes before paramedics arrives, continued, every one of you that had been responsible for making her feel this way. I wish you had to feel what she felt. I wish you had to feel what I feel.
I hope he goes after him. I hope he goes after the people that fucking did the comments. Like, sues them for all their fucking worth, because that's bullshit. You don't get to get online and get in front of a computer and think, I can be an asshole. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say, and I have no consequences.
My wife and I have a name for people like that. We call them CWKs, which stands for cowards with keyboards.
Yeah. Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get.
Like, what the hell could you say so bad about somebody that's helping animals? Like, what?
Right. And that's just it. Do we know, like, what was said?
I don't think they're gonna post the comments, but it had to be.
But I'm just curious, because I'm at a loss here for what could be said about somebody who wants to, promote mental health, promote, animals' safety and I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and it says here she was so sensitive to everything. So she was a sensitive soul. He added, which is a double-edged sword because on one hand, it allowed her endless empathy for those in her care. Excuse me, but it also means that she took everything negative to heart. But despite ridiculous claims and rumors about her online, so people must have been saying like she was cheating, whatever, or was a bad person, whatever. Mikayla kept on her mission of saving and rescuing as many animals as she could. She pushed through for years. She pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down and the mental challenges she faced, and she still rescued hundreds of animals and changed the lives of so many. I wonder if she was also dealing with maybe actual depression, because you can be as successful in depression.
Well, it's in the paragraphs that she also discussed her mental struggles and things like that. So I mean, she was an advocate for mental health as well as this animal sanctuary.
Right.
So yeah, how about guys? Just a public service announcement: don't be a fucking dick. Is it that hard? I mean, I do it all the time.
I mean, so for some people it is. They just can't keep their fucking comments to themselves. They have to, spout off or, harass whoever because they feel safe. Because they're, not in front. You wouldn't say that shit if you were in front of that person. You wouldn't say that shit.
It's because they have these to hide behind.
Right. So why are you hiding behind the screen now? I guess that's the downside of our society now that we're so online and everything. We've forgotten the niceties of, treating people like fucking human beings or how you want to be treated. Looks like shenanigans came in here. For some people, they are so miserable, the only way they can feel better is to make other people feel worse. Right. So, which is ridiculous. What? Those are the people that need to get punched in the face,
or punched in somewhere else of their anatomy.
Right.
A little lower down.
If you can't fucking say it to my face, then you shouldn't be putting it out there.
Mm-hmm. I've actually met people before who have said bad things about me online. It was like an old high school classmate. She was trashing me online, and then when I saw her right to her face, I was like, "So what are these comments about?" And she literally went like, I was like, "Oh, you coward." We were in front of other people too, and she wouldn't say anything. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought."
Folding chairs are really nice. Yeah.
Folding chairs are really nice.
Give them the people's elbow.
With
the clown shoes, really?
No. The Jay and Silent Bob. Did you say, and I quote, "they're fucking clown shoes"?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. When they go to each individual person's house and beat
you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the ball lickers. I used to have that whole thing memorized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait for. Did his latest movie, the 4:30 movie, ever come out? I've never saw it go in theaters.
It came out in theaters, but it was very short lived. I don't know if it's streaming yet because it came and went. And now the big thing is the whole Dogma, since he got the rights back for that. So which means 4K resolution Blu-ray. Hopefully not too long from now because Dogma's fucking hard as hell to find on DVD.
It is now, but I think he's just doing a tour with it, and then they're gonna put it on DVD and Blu-ray.
That's what I'm saying is hopefully soon a 4K Blu-ray.
So I learned
fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
I actually learned recently, I guess George Carlin was a person, I guess Kevin Smith was doing a stand-up, met George Carlin, and then told George Carlin about the role that he had in mind for him. And he was actually like, I'm an atheist, right? And Kevin Smith was like, yeah, that's why this is funny. And he's like, okay, I see where you're going, and signed up for it. And I guess for Chris Rock's character, they originally had Samuel L. Jackson in mind for it.
I just don't see that.
I don't
think
see
I would
it.
have worked it.
But apparently Chris Rock knew about this role and lobbied for it. So I was like, oh,
There
okay.
you go.
So he actually wanted it, and I guess the only way they got Alan Rickman was he had Alan Rickman in mind when he was writing the role, but he's like, we'll never get this guy. We'll never get Hans Gruber to take it. And then it turned out that Alan Rickman was a big fan of Chasing Amy, and said, yeah, I want to work with him, and didn't even care what the script was, just said yes.
Chasing Amy is actually one of my favorite Kevin Smith films.
So
That is a good one.
You know, it's fantastic.
Mm.
But
but sorry.
I was going to say my favorite story about Dogma is that you know, when they were bringing Rickman in, Smith had Muse so worked up that, you know, okay, Rickman's a legit actor and, you know, he's very serious and that Muse not only memorized his lines for the scenes with Rickman, but memorized every fucking line in the entire movie because he didn't want to, quote, piss off that Rickman dude.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, no.
And I just saw Dogma in the theater for the 25th anniversary. If I didn't know where to look, I wouldn't have caught this, but you can actually tell where Jason Mewes is having trouble because he was addicted to heroin at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so where Azrael's giving his speech in the bar, if you look, they show Mewes' face, and he's sitting there, he's wide awake like this, but then when they do the wide shots, you see him hunched over like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, that's because he was fighting that addiction. And I'm like, so this is where they were talking about. So, but if you didn't know where to look, you wouldn't have seen it. But yeah, so for Rick Hurst and for Mikayla Raines, we got to do it.
Yeah, mine's disappearing.
I was gonna say, how'd you get yours to do that? Yep, controllers up for you guys. Controllers or switches up for you guys.
Technically, it's a controller.
Nice flex.
This is our way of showing respect, and you know, hopefully you're in a better place now.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, she's in a better place.
So, just to die by suicide at such a young age, that's
all because of some stupid asshat can't shut the fuck up.
See, and that's why a lot of times people go like, "Oh, I read every single comment," and I'm like, "I'm told to tell you I read every single comment. I don't." When we're doing the show here, yes, but
I mean, I was trying to say that to the wife because she's just get into like social media and doing the TikToks and stuff, and the way I see it is, yes, if they're coming onto your things and they're commenting, that means they have to keep watching your content and they're actually helping you. But yeah, if they get to a certain point, you gotta fucking no more.
Yeah.
And that's what that ban button is good for. So, yeah, we had another. Well, not really a death, but it seems like you know, we're gonna have to say goodbye to a legend here. Not because he's dying, but because he's retiring after 55 years on the air.
55 years, and big part of my childhood.
Part of a lot of people's childhood.
Yeah.
Mad Cat Radio, Dr. Demento. He launched the career of so many, including Weird Al.
Oh yeah, and he's, you know, growing up in Illinois, Sunday nights on DEK. Mm-hmm. And you know, like middle school,
I got to know him.
Yeah, middle school into high school, every night, Sunday night, I would, you know, Sunday night lineup, Simpsons, Married with Children, all that, and then go to bed and lay in bed and listen to bed. Yeah, exactly. Go to bed and lay in bed and listen to Dr. Demento, and then wake up all groggy and for school in the morning and shit. But totally worth it.
I'm pretty sure I don't think I've listened to a Dr. Demento show.
A lot of people haven't because, I mean, he was either on late or some places he was syndicated, but some places didn't have him.
I was just say I don't think in my area we had him, or if we did, it was on like a weird channel or, like you said, a weird time. Because yeah, I remember, you know, watching to like Casey Kasem during like Sundays, you know, the top 10s or whatever.
Rick D's. Rick D's weekly top 40.
Right. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I ever listened Dr. Demento. I know that's
Oh,
Weird Al. That's where Weird Al came from. Is from
right.
getting his break there.
Well, I like how they said Weird Al actually. I guess somebody sent Dr. Demento a tape of this one right here of Belvedere Cruising, and he said he got this tape and it didn't have a name on it. It had the name, but it didn't have anything else written on it. And then when he played it, it became an instant radio hit for him on his show anyway. And that's when he started interviewing and started introducing him to people around and got him his the career that he has now.
Man, I would love to go see his show. I watched like a reel of him starting his show and doing tacky, and I was like, oh man, would be so awesome.
That's when he pies puddles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and we'll probably talk about this again because he's just announced his retirement. He hasn't set a date for it.
I thought he did.
Towards the bottom of the article. Let's see, where was it? The final Dr. Demento broadcast will consist of archival material from the course of his long career. I didn't think he said an actual day.
He does it on the internet now. I only know this because I'm part of a Dr. Demento group on Facebook, and but I could have swore he did announce what his last day was. But as far as a Weird Al show, I've seen him in concert 5 times. He puts on a really good show. I actually met Weird Al when I was 16, on my 16th birthday. I actually, I mean, I'm sure this isn't really what happened, but I like to say that I brought Weird Al to Rockford because Bad Hair Day had just come out, and he was in Chicago doing a radio show on WGN and like an interview. And I called in. I was actually the last caller, and I managed to get in. And I said, hey, on your tour, are you going to be coming to Rockford? And he said, I think the closest places we're going to be is Dixon. And he said something else, but I couldn't remember. And he's like, he's like, I think that's it. I was like, oh, okay. So then like flash forward a month or two. And back in the day, there was this fantastic store in Rockford called Media Play. Mm-hmm. And I was going into Media Play one day, and they were like, hey, the big signs right on the door as you fucking walked in. They're like, come here on this date, meet Weird Al, and try to win tickets for his show that night at the Rockford Metro Center. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's like, and so that date actually happened to be my 16th birthday. So I went to Media Play, stood in line. I have his Bad Hair Day CD signed by him. It says "Happy Birthday, Weird Al Yankovic," nice. And then my parents had gotten me tickets for the show that night. So that was the first time I saw him live.
Very nice.
But
nice.
And my dad was saying it was very surreal because he's standing off to the side, waiting for me in line and all that, and all of a sudden, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick, because Cheap Trick's from Rockford, he just goes walking by and he's like, "Hey, Al," and Al's like, "Rick," and they get up and hug him. My dad's just like, in what fucking world am I in where I'm just standing here? Rick Nielsen goes walking by and hugs Weird Al, and so.
Didn't you say? I thought you said this before. Like the two guys from the Insane Clown Posse were like in their wrestler uniforms.
In theory, I think it was them because this was back when they were trying to keep their aura about them like a mystery. And they've said in interviews where when they would go out shopping and stuff, they would wear like the Lucha Libre masks. And there were two guys walking around the store, like shopping CDs, wearing Lucha Libre masks. And at first, everybody's like, because Al kind of was like behind schedule. So a lot of people were like, oh, it's probably just, Media Play stirring up some shit just to keep the crowd, focused or not getting pissed off that Al is late.
Right.
But like the more I look into it, ICP was doing because this was before they were, big, they were doing like the Midwest tours. And, since they were from Detroit, Michigan's not that far from fucking Illinois. And so I'm thinking it was them.
It's about 6 hours.
So
and maybe a little bit more from Michigan.
And
that's not much. Yeah. I mean, I did New Jersey to Illinois in 18 hours.
Jeez.
So
It's possible. It's just you're tired afterwards.
yeah.
But yeah, you were right, Koimiya. So yeah, Dr. Demento retired from his radio show. Apparently, the show on the 20th of June was his last show.
Okay.
After 55 years. So it sounds like maybe he didn't announce that he was going to retire until time to hang up the hat. Just done.
He's like, guess what, guys? I'm just done.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, the dude is in his 80s. He's definitely had a fantastic. You know, I just realized how often I say that fucking word when watching or when doing the fantastic. Everything is fantastic. You know.
So
Either fantastic or dog shit for you.
There is no in between. Yes.
So is your favorite movie The Fantastic Four?
Fuck off.
I'm actually looking forward to the new one.
I am too.
So
I can't wait for that, and actually the new Superman. I'm actually pretty hyped for those two,
I
and also the new Jurassic Park.
I like James Gunn as a director, and so I'll see the new Superman. Fantastic Four, I'm still on the fence about.
Really?
So
Even with that cast?
Well, cast doesn't really hold it. It's you got to have. I think Marvel relies way too much on CGI. But at the same time, I kind of understand why they need to.
Have to?
Well, I mean, you can do some practical effects, but at the same time, it's like to get the two of them sitting there, talking to each other. It's like, oh, they were never talking to each other. They were doing CGI, you know. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to that though. I actually might be one of the few people who really enjoyed Thunderbolts.
I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that one yet.
It was actually really good. It was just so funny and out of you're like, wait, this is just I'm having a good time. Like out of nowhere, you didn't think you were gonna be having that much fun.
Honestly,
then the reveal at the end, like you're like, oh fuck, that's awesome.
I mean, I just finally got around to watching the newest Captain America with Red Hulk. So you know, I'm fucking behind as all hell.
Well, my thing was like they put so much advertising into that one because I couldn't walk 2 feet without seeing an advertisement for the new Captain America. But then I didn't see like a lot of ads for Thunderbolts until like 2 or 3 weeks before it was ready to come out. And I was like,
that was intentional because I mean, MCU, let's admit it, has been really hit or miss the last couple films. And so,
for sure.
You know, they probably wanted to play They probably wanted to play the Thunderbolts card close to their vest, and you know, not.
It's not like you hear Thunderbolts and you go, oh, that's this, and this guy. You're like, who the fuck are these people besides Bucky?
Right.
It's just like when they did.
It's
just like when they did Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, who the fuck are the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Right.
But
I've never heard of them.
Chris Pratt looks funny, and I know this movie actually looks really good. And then we got into it, and it was like, oh my god, this is actually really, really good. You know, but that was back when Marvel couldn't do anything wrong. Now they do about half the stuff.
See, and I haven't watched. I've heard mixed things. I haven't watched the first 3 episodes of Ironheart yet. So, and to be fair, I haven't even seen the second Black Panther. So
I did not watch that one either.
I saw it,
which I guess is where they actually introduce Ironheart. You know, so it's like
they do, and it's one of those where they pay. They do a really good job of showing why Chadwick Boseman isn't there anymore. So they kill off his character, and I'm not giving anything away because this was in the trailers and everything. But they kill off his character, and they do it in a way that actually mirrors how he died in real life. And then you see the cast there crying and going like he is no more. And it's like, then that's how they start the movie. And then they do the Marvel stuff. And then it says like, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And it's like, great. So, start the movie by making the audience cry. And it's just like what they did when Stan Lee died. Remember they started it like, rest in peace, Stan Lee, father or whatever. And I was like, why do you got to start this by making the audience cry? You're supposed to get us interested,
I saw that popped up in my on this day on Facebook a while back, like right after Stan Lee had died, and they said from now on Deadpool needs to make a cameo in every Marvel movie, like Stan Lee used to. And they said, but he's even got to have like the aviator glasses and a mustache like Stan Lee's and a wig, like a cheap wig or something. But I'm like, that would be pretty awesome if they had Deadpool do that.
Well, I liked in Deadpool and Wolverine how they actually got him to do a cameo. They just had his picture on the side of the bus that they were fighting on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did a very slow pan to make sure it's like, see him? Like they were making sure you didn't miss him. Oh, man. That would really be fun, but at the same time, then you'd have to have him watered down for the PG-13 rating that most of the MCU is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you're
sure
not
you can
having
do it,
him
though.
coming through like flipping off the camera. You're just showing him like in the background. You're like, oh, there he is.
Yep. I guess I guess Deadpool was actually supposed to show up in I want to say it was, what was that one that didn't do very well? The Eternals.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Eternals.
He's supposed to show up in that?
Yeah, he was supposed to. Remember when you saw Abomination in the cage match? Just very briefly.
No. I've only watched that movie once, and I'm like, that was enough.
Yeah, that was more than enough.
That was one too many. Too.
There was a scene where they were in that little bar kind of area, and you saw the cage match, and you saw Abomination show up, which was the first time he's shown up since the Incredible Hulk back in 2008. And so they were letting you know he's still there, but apparently that wasn't supposed to be Abomination to begin with. That was supposed to be Deadpool. And there wasn't supposed to be any words. It was just supposed to be Deadpool like kicking this guy's ass and then jumping through the portal. And it was supposed to be kind of a hint that the next Deadpool was going to deal with the time portals and everything like that, how it did. They just decided they thought that was too soon to bring Deadpool in, and they wanted Ryan Reynolds to like properly drop in as Deadpool and make a joke. They didn't want to just show him and be like, haha, see here.
Yeah, I haven't seen Eternals.
You're not missing much.
They-
I mean,
Actually,
the Eternals kind of leads into the one you watched, the Captain America.
That hand makes more sense being there.
Right.
So
That
I mean, I knew that was from the Eternals, but I didn't. Like I said, I haven't seen that movie. I actually did enjoy. What was it? Legend of the Ten Rings or whatever. I thought that one was pretty good. Yeah. I keep hearing rumors that they're going to be making another one of those, which I hope they do, because I feel that one didn't seem to get enough of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like came out and then disappeared.
Well, everyone freaked out about it while it was out, and then all of a sudden nobody talked about it again.
Yeah, and I thought that was a fantastic. There we go again, fantastic. Movie. So
should we put a counter somewhere on here? And every time he says fantastic, we just up it up one.
So when we talk about the Fantastic Four, I want to see how many times he says fantastic and doesn't mean it. I'm looking forward to that one. I hope that they. I'm looking forward to it. And you got what's your name from Ozarks being the Silver Surfer, which actually did happen in the comics if you read the comics. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to it, and the fact that it's not going to be like a rehash of the origin story.
Yes,
we're already going to go into it. Like, good, because we don't need another fucking origin story on.
We don't need to see Krypton explode anymore. We don't need to see Batman's parents get killed. We don't need to see Uncle Ben get killed, and we don't need the origin story of the Fantastic Four anymore. We've done those to death.
Right. Literally,
and that's why.
Dies?
Huh? What?
I said, wait, Uncle Ben dies?
Well, I mean, unless you're talking about the new Spider-Man, then it's Aunt May.
Right.
Yeah, he was already dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Titanic sinks. What?
What? No way.
By the way, spoiler alert, did you know Darth Vader turns out to be Luke's dad?
No fucking way. I mean, the newer kids, they might not know that.
What? We need to get like a picture or a video of Stan from American Dad doing that. Say what? Or Chris from Family Guy. What?
Dude, my favorite lines ever was in American Dad, and Klaus and Steve or Roger and Steve, but one of them said, I think it's Roger, and Roger was like upset about something, and Steve says something to console him, and Roger's like, "Do you really mean it?" And Steve's like, "Bitch, what'd I just say?"
Yeah, I remember.
The way he says it, I'm just like, ugh.
I just learned that the guy that does the voice of Steve is actually the guy that played Archie in ER, the redheaded dude, the doctor that was like, not professional at all.
Never got into ER. I was a Chicago Hope guy. So,
well, we can't all be winners. I mean, you still work at Quick.
The favorite actors ever is in Chicago Hope. So, and that's Mandy Patinkin. So,
you said Chicago Hope. For some reason, I was thinking Nolan North, but no, that was General Hospital. He was in.
Yeah, I never watched that.
Yeah, so. General Hospital, one of those soap operas. That's actually where Nolan North, who plays Nathan Drake in the Uncharted games, I don't know if that's where he got his start, but that's where he got his big break. He played the hunky doctor in General Hospital, the one that like all the women wanted or whatever. But
watch a lot of soap operas, did you?
Apparently,
I didn't watch them purposely, but like when my grandparents were babysitting.
He didn't watch them. They watched. He didn't watch them. They watched him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works.
Right.
Yes.
But he can just spit off the whole fucking storyline.
I can't tell you anything about storylines, and I only know
that for what fucking 20 years or whatever the fuck.
I couldn't say. I just know that he did this, and that's because Nolan North did an interview on it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Wink.
I can't wink. Or do I always wink? I'm not sure. How does this work? Am I blinking or winking?
Yes.
That's the quick answer.
Fantastic.
So, anyway, because there's no way of going into this. Oh, wait. Yes, there is. If I can do it. I do have that. I'm glad you had that pulled right up. I was going to have to wait a second and find it.
Yeah. I'm kind of on this page anyways.
There you go. But yeah, South Park creators threaten legal action over interference on streaming deal. What is it with South Park? It's like getting into all kinds of legal trouble lately.
I know they've had this problem.
They're the ones threatening to sue. They're not being threatened. They're the ones that are threatening this time. So it's legal trouble, but it's not being brought upon them. It's them bringing it upon this Jeff guy for fucking with their contract. So,
well, I thought, didn't we report a week or so ago that Warner Brothers Discovery was breaking up?
Yes,
and that's I think one of the reasons what this issue is because of the fact that they're breaking up. This guy's trying to like find a loophole in their contract now. If I read this correctly, so
because of course, yeah, Jeff Shell, the Redbird Capital executive, who will be the incoming president of Paramount, if the merger with Skydance is completed, has been accused by the attorney of South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone of interfering in contract negotiations with potential suitors. So I think they're trying to put this. If I read this right, they're trying to put South Park on Paramount Plus, where it's going to be an exclusive deal. And I don't know if that means it'll pull it what's on Max right now, but they were also looking at maybe putting Netflix or South Park on Netflix as well.
Honestly, well, they're already on Paramount, but I mean, because there's
they already had a deal with them, and there was
stuff on Paramount that's not on Max, like their QAnon specials. I don't think are on Max, which are fucking funny as hell, by the way. But they had the whole COVID specials as well, which I don't believe are on Max.
No, that was the thing is they they put it on Max, and then they put the specials on like exclusively on Paramount. But then they cut their normal thing from like 10 episodes to like 7, and then they were basically they were making those 3 episodes the specials and putting them on Paramount, and that's why Max and Paramount were getting pissed at each other, and that's what caused the first lawsuit. Now it's going directly to Paramount, and I think they're going to pull it off Max, but they're also trying to put it to Netflix so Netflix can get at least the episodes. I don't know about the specials, but they can get at least the episodes.
Okay.
Shenanigans comes in. Respect my authority.
Maybe we should get that one as a soundbite on here too.
I mean, that would be a good one to have on here.
Should we get the South Park movie one? Like, damn shit, respect my fucking authority.
Nah, you gotta have the respect my authority.
I really wish that they'd make another actual movie.
If we're going South Park clips, we've got to definitely get the one where I think it's Clyde or it's Butter's cousin or whatever, but it's always like Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. You know, the one episode where Butters is trying to come up with these new ideas, and he's like, Simpsons did it, and he keeps getting more and more tweaked out about it until he starts seeing everybody in South Park as like Simpsons characters even.
Well, we do have a few clips. We have this one.
Butters, go buy World of Warcraft, install it on your computer, and join the online sensation before we all murder you.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
What's the big deal? It doesn't hurt anybody.
I actually had that. I shortened that to just it doesn't hurt anybody. But I used to have it where he was like fuck, fuckity, fuck, 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 and that was just because we had somebody on here that was telling us we swear too much.
Swear?
No,
I don't
no fucking way.
I don't fucking swear, you dipshit. But yeah, so this was just really, it's just more, I just see it as more legal trouble for South Park. I know they're not the ones being sued. They're the ones doing the suing. Suing. That's our new thing. But yeah, it's just really interesting how this cartoon from these two guys who just started with construction paper has caused so much legal issues 20 years later.
Still, yeah.
So,
and I honestly think that they're one of the few cartoons that still, even their newer episodes are great. They keep me laughing, and you know the newer episodes of The Simpsons are hit or miss. Family Guy has gone to complete shit, and
has it?
Oh yeah.
I can't dating Bonnie.
I cannot get into I can't even tell you the last time I actually watched a new episode of Family Guy.
Speaking of Simpsons, don't we have an article on The Simpsons also?
We do have that, yes.
Yeah,
but while he's bringing that up, you know, and in my opinion, as far as like Family Guy, Cleveland Show, and American Dad is now where it's at. Like that shit is hilarious.
I haven't seen the new episodes.
Oh god,
I haven't seen it since it left TBS. But didn't it just recently come back?
It just came back to TBS. Yes, American Dad is great. And then I also like Bob's Burgers, and the guy who did that has another show called The Great North, with Nick Offerman as like the main dad, and that guy is hilarious. So the Great
Nick
North
Offerman is also in Big Mouth, which just ended its run on Netflix.
Ooh,
that's a shame.
Oh wait, no, is that Offerman or is that Kroll?
That's Kroll.
Oh, that's
Offerman. Kroll. Offerman is in Parks and Rec. He plays what is it? Andy? No, that's Chris Pratt. I can't remember Offerman's character now, but he's great, and he makes Parks and Rec, in my opinion. That's what makes that show, is Nick Offerman. So
yeah. I always get, I don't know why I always get Offerman and Kroll confused, but yeah, I know what you're saying. And Lisa Kudrow had one. Lisa Kudrow was in one just recently called Housebroken, where she played the dog.
Yeah, that didn't live long, did it?
It was like 2 or 3 seasons.
Really? Well,
it was
more than I thought.
See, that one was good. I actually really enjoyed that one. And then there was one that Amy Poehler was in recently called Duncantown.
Yep.
Duncantown was really good. I wish that was another animated one that I wish had gone much further than it did.
See, I could never get into Big Mouth.
Oh man,
no.
Big Mouth is
Big Mouth is
hilarious.
hilarious. I love it.
What was that other one on Netflix? F is for Family. Fucking hated that.
Oh,
Which one?
my wife just corrected me. It's not Duncantown, it's Duncanville.
Okay. No, the other one that was on Netflix that I fucking horrible was F is for Family.
No way, that was fucking hilarious.
That was awesome.
Well, that was pure shit.
What is wrong with you?
Shit.
All right, I gotta do it.
That's whatever KoimiaX is talking about for you.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect. I'm glad that my brother got me that clip. So, but
yeah, we will use the hell out of that one.
no, I'm sure you will. We've got one for when you guys are rambling about something, but that one's specifically for me.
I mean, Netflix has some great animated ones. I loved F is for Family. I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
Nope.
I thought that was hilarious.
Mhm.
I sat down there and binged the entire thing.
I think I made it through one episode.
I
And I
kept
was just
waiting
like, this
for
is
the
crap.
next ones. No.
Crap.
What about BoJack Horseman?
That's a good one.
I've never watched those.
That's a good one.
That's
I've heard great things about it.
That one can get pretty fucking serious at times. Like, you're just like, whoa, like.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those, the bright colors and the animator, animals and everything. It's like, it makes you think it's going to be like this fun, kooky, lighthearted show. And then it's like, then it hits you with like huge storylines. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. BoJack is a great one.
Isn't that still on Netflix?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the older episodes are.
Right.
And then, okay, if you didn't like Big Mouth, I'm pretty sure you don't like Human Resources, which I thought was funny as hell.
I've never even heard of that one.
It's
basically the monsters from Big Mouth have their own show, and it tells you like what all they're doing behind the scenes.
Oh.
And then it's funny because then they came in with like the next season of Big Mouth, and if you hadn't watched Human Resources, you had no idea what was happening because it was like all explained.
Yeah, it all went together. It was really good. I liked it.
Okay.
Do you have that article on The Simpsons?
Yep, I've got it pulled up here. So this kind of stopped the entire internet for some reason this week.
I mean, this is all I've seen. Like, they've just been going on and on about this.
Oh, whoa, stop. I don't know why that... right here, the Simpsons season finale shocks fans with an unprecedented story featuring the death of a core family member. It's not canon.
Right.
I don't know why everyone's
flash forward and
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the first time they've killed off other characters in the future.
Right. Like, I don't know why people all of a sudden thought, "Oh, this is going forward. She's not going to be on there anymore." Like, what?
They clearly state this is like 35 years in the future. So the storyline was that Marge is worried that Bart and Lisa never talk to each other. She thinks the family is drifting apart, and spoiler alert because it's been all over the frickin' internet. So I'll give you a chance to click off if you don't want it spoiled for you. But they flash forward 35 years, and you see Bart, Lisa, and Homer all standing over and Maggie all standing over a grave, crying, and then they're kind of coming together, and then it goes up to see Marge sitting on a cloud, looking down, smiling, and happy that her family is coming back together, and it indicates that Marge is the one who died. And it actually says on the tombstone, Marge Simpson, rest in peace. And, but it's 35 years in the future. And the producers have said that was a flash forward. The rest of the show doesn't take place flash forward. And they'll probably never kill a character like that again because they don't know what the stories are going to be later.
What's that one episode where it's like Homer dies and is in heaven and he asks God the meaning of life and God's like, you can't wait 6 weeks to find out. And it's like, whatever, fictional character, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I mean, this seems to be like the only thing anybody wants to talk about on the internet right now.
Like every fucking thing was talking about this. Like
when I see this, you know what I think of? Brian.
Brian from Family Guy.
Remember when they killed off Brian? Oh, he's not coming back. Oh, Brian is dead. Brian is dead. What did it last? Like 4 fucking episodes?
Not even.
Yeah, no, like it
was like the next episode was with Vinny, and then the next week was like a bye week or whatever because I think it was Thanksgiving, and then the week after that was their Christmas episode where they brought Brian back.
Yeah.
Which is why I love how Seth MacFarlane or the Family Guy crew, they actually made fun of that because they did an episode the next season that didn't have Brian in it. And they actually make a flash forward on there where they're like, Family Guy fans freaked out when Brian died, but you haven't even noticed that he hasn't been in this episode. Yeah, I get it. You know, the cartoons, especially ones that have been on so long, just any show will need to shake things up a little bit. But dial it back, people. You know this character's coming back.
Right.
Unless you don't, which in that case, that's your fault for being naive.
I mean, I remember, the season finale one where, Mr. Burns got shot and it was like a complete fucking mystery on who actually killed him. And it could have gone, they had it like 5 or 6 different ways they were going to do it, and they hadn't decided on which one, if I remember right, until the episode actually aired.
Because I think the cast members were even saying, I think the cast members were even saying that they didn't even know which one was, like, they recorded 7 different endings, and they didn't know which one was going to be the true one until it actually aired that night. So, like, even they found out when the rest of the world did,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why this kind of reminds me of. Remember when Henry Blake died in MASH? It was like nobody knew that was going to be the thing until they put the scene together to film it.
Yeah,
and that's actually why Gary Berghoff is actually so devastated in that scene. They had literally just told him go in there and read these lines, and he was like, "Wait, what? what?"
Yeah.
So
well, it's also like I on How I Met Your Mother, when Jason Segel's father's character dies in the episode. He didn't know. They kept that a complete secret from him the entire episode. So his reaction when Lily tells Marshall that his father is dead, that's Segel's legit reaction. Like, he did not know.
Sometimes keeping the actor in the dark is a good thing. Other times, not so much. That's so we kind of joked about Star Wars, but actually Luke or Mark Hamill and George Lucas were the only ones on set that knew that Darth Vader was Luke's father. And I guess George Lucas told Mark Hamill, he's like, I know, and you know, and one of the writers knows. We're the only 3. So if it gets out, I'll know it was you.
I saw an interview with Hamill about that.
That a secret.
I saw an interview with Hamill about that because he does a great Harrison Ford impression. And when they were in the theaters watching it for the first time, and Hamill, Vader delivers that line. He's like, Ford looked over at me and he's like, "Hey kid, you never fucking told me that." Just like so. But
don't tell Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie probably would have blabbed. Then, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the same. Hamill says that in the same interview. It was on some British network. What was it? Jules Holland or something? Or no? The clip that we have of the sad anyway. That guy. I'm pretty sure it was his show.
Oh,
but I don't remember.
Oh no! Anyway.
Yeah, that guy.
It might have been him. I don't know. Maybe it is Jules Holland. It might have been. It's one of the two. I've seen the clip on Facebook several times.
I learned recently that I guess Carrie Fisher and James Earl Jones had never actually met each other until they both did a cameo on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because you'd think that they would have shown up to conventions or met at the premieres or whatever, but they never crossed paths. So when they both did that, when they were both on set that day, apparently the Carrie just walked up and she was like, "Hi, Dad," and he was like, "Hey." I was like, "Wow, that's so." And they said it was such a surreal moment for the cast because none of them knew that they didn't know each other. They thought they were like old friends.
Right.
Yep. I also learned recently that Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill hadn't shared a movie screen together until from Return of the Jedi. They didn't share a movie screen together until Kevin Smith's Jane Silent Bob Strike Back. And neither one of them knew that the other was in the movie when they filmed. I like movie facts, especially these fun ones. But anyway, hey, are either one of you guys just kind of moving on here? Are either one of you guys big Grand Theft Auto fans? Because I know I am.
What's Grand Theft Auto?
Really? It's actually an old movie that was directed by Ron Howard. And I'm not even kidding with that. That's actually an old movie directed by Ron Howard. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 5, the trio. So the ones who played Franklin, Michael, and Trevor want fans to petition for one last DLC story together. And I'm saying, hell yes, we need that. And I want like a substantial single player DLC for that, but we'll probably get it in multiplayer.
Meh. I mean,
yeah, I mean that game's
they beat 5 to death.
old. Right.
They don't.
If they did that now, I think you'd definitely be like, that'd be like a, cash. You're just going for the money then. Like, leave it the fuck alone, let it go die or whatever it wants to do, and give us 6.
Do you think that the main three, because all three of them in the canon ending survive Grand Theft Auto 5's ending, do you think that they should bring these three back in a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 6?
Now that they could do, yeah, that would be fun to have their characters show up in 6. So.
Like maybe have them travel to Vice City?
It depends on what the timeline is, because I mean, the original Vice City was in the 80s.
Yeah. But that's
that's not this one. No, this one's like, current day, but what year was 5?
That was 2013, so that was modern day for its time. So that was like 2012, 2013.
So you could still bring them in.
You could age them up.
Make them a little older and bring them in. Have them give
Here's the thing.
Advice or something.
I would be up for them making a cameo, if it's not like just shoehorned into the game. Like, hey, here's these three. Remember them?
Right.
If it was.
I mean, you have to do it right, not just like you said, just bring them in.
If it was a legit part of the story or something.
Oops, sorry. I mean, there is the right way to do it. They did that with the substantial story DLC for 4. They were able to bring in Nico Bellic, and but they did that by really the ones that they followed when they did the Lost and Damned, and then they did the Ballad of Gay Tony. They were running those DLCs, running them simultaneously as they were running the story. So anytime you saw Nico in one of their missions, it was actually kind of the mission from another person's viewpoint. You could do it like that, or you could go, where they have to record original dialogue and, hey, we're all in Vice City for some reason,
I was gonna say, I would hope it would be original dialogue, so you have to bring them back, you have to pay them, not just, we're just going to reuse these lines, and here they are.
Yeah.
That would definitely, like he said, that would be cheating it.
And did we have another comment?
Shenanigans had the quote from Mark Hamill. So,
go ahead.
Telephone, telegraph, telecarry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I'm super excited I'm always going to be super excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. Even when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, that's probably all I'll be playing for like 2 months straight.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing about this damn game.
I mean, it better be
It's-
the best fucking game ever, right?
Do you think you can live up to the hype at this point?
Everybody's going to fucking claim it as the best fucking game ever,
I
and
mean,
it could be.
it's not going to
It could
live
be
up to the
Mind's
hype.
Eye. It could be Mind's Eye, and
geez.
people are going to still
What?
say people are going to still say it's the greatest thing ever. It's shit, you know.
Look what you did.
Oh, did I hurt his eye?
I'm right here. It's just my wife gave me lunch. I didn't want to eat on camera.
Mhm. So, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about it. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Elder Scrolls 6. Are they going to show something? Are they not? Are they going to show something? Are they not? I know we have a story about that. Just put the fucking game out already. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, think about that. How many people said put the fucking game out already when they were going to do what was that, Cyberpunk 2077, and then when they put it out, it was full of glitches and bugs and bitches and thugs.
Yeah, and I mean GTA is going to be the same way, so just put it out. And
I would hope, with this extra year, that it wouldn't be that way. That it would come pretty polished. I would hope.
But
it's back to that whole thing of like that Beetlejuice thing that I had posted on Facebook, where Beetlejuice 2 went into production 10 fucking years ago.
Oh.
I mean, how long ago did GTA 6 go into production? I mean, the announcement for Elder Scrolls 6 was 8 fucking years ago. And it's like my wife said for the Beetlejuice thing. They went into production 10 years ago, and this is what they came up with?
Not really, though. They were constantly going and saying that, we're going to do a Beetlejuice 2, and then it would get in...
The fans were.
Well, it would always get in development hell, where they would have a kind of script, and then it would just fucking disappear, like it does, in Hollywood.
Right. And I have a feeling that if you were to take the leaked concepts of GTA 6, remember when those leaked a year ago or whatever? Because they said basically, didn't they say all that's now been scrapped since it's been leaked? So it makes you wonder what could have been and what is going to be. And, I don't know. I'm just so fucking sick and tired of hearing about that damn game.
Well, to be honest, they did say that Grand Theft Auto 6 didn't go into full production until about 2019. And then you got COVID that hit, so that pushed them back about a year. They actually didn't start right after Grand Theft Auto 5 like a lot of people thought they did. That's when they started really working on Red Dead Redemption 2. And then 2019 is when they went into full production. And then they had that leak, and they said that by the time that leaked, they had already moved on to other concepts. Those were just concepts. That was never going to be an official part of the game. Now they're saying that because of COVID, that's also why they needed the extra time, because they were going to use that time in the office to polish things up. But
here's my thing on that. Okay, so I understand the concept of everybody was fucking locked up during COVID. I get that.
They were still doing things from home, though.
Exactly. And I mean, how many games were announced around that time or before COVID that have come out that are great games? I mean, I get that Grand Theft Auto is going to be on a whole nother level of scale wise and
sophistication
and the cutscenes and all of that shit. But when I see things like Clair Obscur that was done by 30 people, and it's have you played Clair Obscur?
I have.
No.
The graphics in that game are fantastic. The voice acting, and I mean, they got big name voice actors even for this fucking game. I mean, Charlie Cox is one of the main characters, and if you don't know who that is, he plays Daredevil in the new Daredevil series and things like that. And they got the girl who plays Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3, because when I was playing Clair Obscur, as soon as I heard that girl, I'm like, it's Shadowheart. But And they did that. I mean, I don't know how long Clear Obscure was in production, but I mean, it had to have been at least started during COVID. So how much longer, 5 years out, how much longer can we use COVID as an excuse?
Well, I don't know. I mean, depends on, like you said, Grand Theft Auto is going on a whole nother scale. Who knows what they could do from home, and who knows what they had to do in the office.
Grand Theft Auto also probably has 3 to 4 times the size of people working on it, like Claire Obscure had. And I honestly think Claire Obscure is going to be Game of the Year this year. I really do. And it rightfully should be.
So,
and if you got Game Pass, Cyclops, you got to fucking try Claire Obscure. It's on there.
No, I have it, yeah.
And it's...
I've been told I need to play that one in Black Myth.
It's fantastic. You know, like, it's... Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It is. It is fantastic. I'm dropping the F word on that one. It's
I'm going to start a fucking counter and have it count up every time you
start next show. Starting next show. Get a little fucking counter.
I got to figure out how to do that in here. I could do it in Streamlabs. I don't know how to do it in here.
When did that little fucking subscribe now thing start popping up?
I'm doing that.
Okay.
Like,
so you could probably do the same thing with the counter.
Yeah, but then you'd have to have a video of each one of it, because it's just the.
Gotcha.
It's just an overlay that just pops it up like that, and then I just let it run until it's done.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then hide it again.
Well, just start his at like 50 times, and it'll eventually start going up.
I'll figure out how to do it.
But Koimiya, you brought up Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, apparently Elder Scrolls 6 fans are marking their calendars for the 20th of August.
Yeah, the Gamescom.
Yeah.
So here's my thing about that. I don't think it's going to be Elder Scrolls 6. Because they just recently announced at the last Xbox thing, that new Fallout 76 DLC. I think it's going to be more about that.
Mm.
I think maybe
that's the big announcement. No way.
It's not going to be a big announcement though. They just said they're going to be making several. You know, they're
making a big announcement.
Yeah, but what is that? Click on that link that says Bethesda Twitter account. Let's see what the actual their actual words are, because you know the article could be saying, "Oh, they said they're making." See, that's all they say is we're returning. There's no fucking we're making a big announcement.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't do that promotion and then go, well, here's a game that everybody fucking hated from the get-go and no one really plays, but here's some DLC. Yay!
You don't do this and then announce Diablo for mobile. You know,
no, Blizzard actually did something like that. But here's the thing about 76. Fallout 76 is actually a really great game now. And
when it first came out, it was real shit.
Oh, it was shit when it first came out. Just like No Man's Sky was shit when it first came out.
Right.
Both games now are a big turnaround. I seriously think they're going to show more about that DLC. I expect maybe some Doom DLC announced.
Mm.
What about their new one? Isn't there a new one they're working on?
It's out. The new Doom Medieval. That just came out.
Not Doom, but aren't they working on a new LP? Or EP, whatever the fuck.
A new game.
Yes, thank you.
Not that I know of.
Either that, or maybe it could be the. I'm thinking of Interstellar from.
Wasn't Bethesda behind the new Blade game?
Yes. They are doing the new Blade game, but we haven't seen shit about that either.
So it could be that.
Could also be that they're bringing.
Starfield to the PS5.
Yes.
I mean, you know, and so it's like I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed because they're going to be expecting Elder Scrolls, and I'm willing to bet there will be nothing about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Well, maybe even the new Elder Scrolls Online, maybe there's a DLC coming for that, a new expansion for that, you know? So I don't think 6... I don't think there's going to be anything about 6.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're in the second half here, because it says here half the folks are climbing up the walls and think that it could mean that we're finally getting a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6, but the other half is being a bit more realistic about things. Probably Starfield for the for PlayStation announcement, I'd assume.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Elder Scrolls 6. And
yeah. I mean, we can hope, but I don't think it's going to be.
I think if and when Bethesda announces Elder Scrolls 6 or does a full trailer, it's not going to be Gamescom. They're going to save it for Game of the Year announcement time. Like, you know, because didn't they show the original hype trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 at a Game of the Year? Wasn't that when it was announced initially?
It was at the Game Awards, I thought.
At the Game of the Year awards. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that the next time Bethesda does more for Elder Scrolls 6 is it's going to be another Game Awards announcement.
Probably be the last announcement. Like, you know,
Yep,
we got one more thing for you. You know,
exactly like they did when they showed the original trailer, and so I don't think Gamescom is going to be it.
Unless that's the second to last, and then the next is like the third trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, which I wouldn't be surprised there. But at the same time,
some more lame ass fucking Call of Duty shit.
God.
Like at the last Xbox thing.
That looked like a great sci-fi game, and then I was like, wait, we're going for another. This is how you announce Call of Duty. But
yeah. So I don't know. I think it's not going to be Elder Scrolls 6. Like I said, I'm thinking, you know, Fallout DLC, PS5 possible announcement for Starfield, Doom DLC, and then you know, that's probably about it. Maybe Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, I get that. You know, and then you had mentioned Koimiya about actually, I'm sorry, I had mentioned here about how CD Projekt Red had made those mistakes with Cyberpunk. Well, apparently they're learning their lesson, and they're learning lessons from their past. No fetches, request an eye on Cyberpunk 2077's fan base, favorite characters and devs who care about the art we are making.
Yep. Yeah. I'm glad that there's going to be no fetch quests, because those are a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for Witcher 4. You know, a lot of people are shitting the bed over the fact that it's not Geralt. And
Didn't he die in the last game?
Well, he didn't. I don't remember if he died, but I know he basically passed the swords on to her if you play the expansions for Witcher 3.
So basically, the people bitching about it, it's like if you were actually a fan of it and actually played the last one and actually paid attention, then you'd know that why she's the Witcher in the next game.
Correct.
But
Correct.
And people just like to bitch and whine. So
because it's a woman.
Oh my god!
That's why, you know, to get off on that little tangent really quick. That's why I always say that if it had never existed, Metroid could not be released today. Because people, you know, especially the way they introduced Samus in the original Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was actually just watching a YouTube on that. Somebody was doing all of them. I think it was the Angry Gamer, I think is his name. And in the instruction manual, it even says he, and then you get to the end and it's revealed that, you know, it's a woman.
Like a strawberry colored hair and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I remember in the same thing was in the Mario 2 instructions when they were talking about Birdo. They call Birdo a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it was actually literally written in the instructions like Birdo likes to dress as a woman or something like that. Like I'll Google that really quick.
But yeah, I mean, I just remember when that first came out, so many people freaked out. Oh, well, and I'm talking the original Metroid, because it's like, oh, you're playing as this badass little dude, and then once it takes the helmet off, it's like the dude is a chick, and people freaked out, and then when like, oh, well, there's other things in the world, that's pretty cool. Right, you do that today, everyone freaks out.
Right, mm-hmm. They didn't burn the game and say, oh, we've got to, you know, review bomb it and everything just because it was a woman. They're like, oh, that's cool. We were a chick. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real quick here.
Fucking world.
Really quick here. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's like when
No,
you found
I'm
out that Lara Croft Tomb Raider was going to be the biggest thing in the world, and it seemed like it was the older generation going like, "Oh, you play as a girl," and then our generation was sitting there going like, "Cool, it's Lara," you know.
That's from the Mario instruction manual, Mario 2.
He is a girl and he spits eggs from his mouth. He'd rather be called Burdetta?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Mario
I don't
2
remember
back in the
ever
day.
seeing that one. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you did
no.
that today, and it'd be called woke.
Yep,
Right.
exactly. And that's why I
Like-
say Metroid couldn't be made today if it was never made. Because the anti-woke crowd would be like, "Oh, it's a woman." So
Doesn't anti-woke just mean willfully ignorant?
something like
Pretty
that.
much.
But either way. But yeah, did either one of you guys happen to see the reveal for the new Little Nightmares game?
I didn't
I
actually
heard
watch
something
it.
about that.
Yeah, I posted it, but I didn't actually watch the reveal.
Okay. Yeah, I happened to catch the review or the rewind on it. So yeah, 2 Little Nightmares games are coming to Xbox and PlayStation later this month. This is coming from Pure Xbox. Release dates were announced today. They're going to be released on the same day. It's actually going to be
2 of them?
yeah, so there's October 10th, 2025, and there's going to be Little Nightmares 3, which we're expecting. And then there's going to be what's essentially a remaster of the original Little Nightmares game.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I was reading the on the PlayStation last night as I was looking at it. If you pre-order Little Nightmares 3, you will get the remaster right now.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah. Which I was
That
actually
might be a
thinking
reason
about
to
because
do that.
I'm not going to lie, I've never played any of the Little Nightmare games. I've heard nothing but great things about them, but I have never played them.
They're very confusing, but they're confusing on purpose. You know, it's one of those where like it fucks with your head, but you love it. You know.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
I can get a remastered version. I think I have the first 2. I just I just haven't played them. So maybe that's another thing that can go in my on my list of things to play.
And yep, it's
It's
right
not
here
big enough.
in enhanced edition. So, and the thing is, they wouldn't answer this. They asked if Six, the girl in the raincoat here, her name is Six. They asked if she's going to show up in Little Nightmares 3 because I mean she is the face of the game, but they would not answer. So I'm assuming she's probably there in a capacity that you're not expecting.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pre-order right now. It says extra pre-order bonus. Discover the first entry of the franchise, now enhanced in stunning 4K and 60 FPS. Pre-order Little Nightmares 3 and receive Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition digitally for free, available to download and play immediately. No need to wait for its release.
Are you looking at that on Xbox?
No, I'm looking at it on the PlayStation Store on my app.
Perfect. Then,
And there's different.
I will go pre-order that.
There's different versions of this game. There's like a deluxe edition. Like some of them come with like statues and.
Oh yeah, there's an ultra deluxe one because that's the one I was looking at. And I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of cool. I'm like, I don't think I need to spend that kind of money just to flex on the statue.
Yeah, how many different ones were there? Okay, so I know that there
3.
was
Normal, deluxe, and like ultra deluxe usually where you get the
I'm looking at the complete edition on PS Network or on the store, and it includes Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares Secret of the Maw.
Okay, so yeah, Little Nightmares 3 will have the standard edition, which is just a game. The deluxe edition, which includes the base game, Secrets of the Spiral, expansion pass, which is going to be 2 DLC chapters, Ferryman costumes and costume sets, and the Resident costume set. Then there's the Mirror edition, which will have containing everything that the deluxe edition does, plus a figurine, a metal case, physical book, and then a physical digital OST, stickers, and a branded packaging. And then there's the most expensive one, which is the premium, which is store collector's edition, including the mirror edition content plus the enhanced music box base for the figurine, a gnome controller and a phone holder and a double-sided metal coin. That's a lot of money to pay for all that. But I mean, if you're a huge fan or if you're a collector.
I mean, just a standard edition, it's not bad. It's only $39.99. I'm looking at the pre-order right now just for the standard. Deluxe is $59.99, and then the Ultra one with the statue is pricey, but it's not horrible priced. Like
Apparently, I already own.
Normal.
Apparently, I already own part 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. I think they gave them away at one point too.
Yeah. The bundle. There was a bundled one of 1 and 2, and apparently because it's showing up as purchased in my account, so I'm downloading those bad boys right now.
Yeah, I have both of them too, but I just never have played them. But I'd rather play this enhanced version.
Speaking of games never played, have you started Doki Doki yet?
I knew that's where you were going.
No. Dude, it really messed with my head too, but you got to get through like the first 20 minutes of the game, which is nothing but reading.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, the whole game is nothing but reading, pretty much. But I did tell him that in the options, if it's turned on, like when you first start the game, go into the options right away and turn off the trigger warning, because the thing will pop up before that scene happens and is like, hey, just so you know, this is coming up. So, turn that trigger warning off so that when that scene happens, you don't know.
That was one of my biggest pet peeves when what was that? Silent Hill did not the Silent Hill 2 remake, but when they did a short story. That one that was like just for the PlayStation. It was like after every single chapter, it gave you trigger warnings on things. It's like, okay, we fucking get it. You're gonna traumatize us. We get it.
For that reason, like.
But it just kept coming up and kept coming up and kept coming up. It's like,
yeah,
we get it. Come on, I'm a 40-year-old man. I can play this.
I pre-ordered Little Nightmares 3.
All right, Junior popping in.
Hey, Junior.
He says, sorry I'm late. Hope I'm not too late. I mean, you had an hour and 50 minutes.
Well, somebody was late here, but I'm not going to say who it is. Shut up.
But...
Well, like I said, you said 3, and I didn't know that meant 3 your time. I thought that was 3 my time.
No.
My head doesn't work sometimes.
I'm always in my time, obviously.
Well, you know what? That's your fault for moving to the Eastern time zone. Mister, I need to go here so I can work and keep a good job.
Yeah.
I like money.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Didn't you have a job in the town that you were working in before you decided to quit and go back to your old job, which was now in a new state?
Who, me?
Yes.
No, they shut down my plant.
Yeah, but you got a new job there at like Kraft or something.
Oh, General Mills. Fuck that place. They wanted you to work 12 hours. You had to take care of your own fucking machines. Like, if it broke down, you're the one that has to fix it. And if, for the most part, unless it's something you can't figure out, I'm like, fuck that. That's what skilled labor's for. They're supposed to come and fix this shit for me. And yeah, the 12-hour days. I mean, the perks were nice because you could get, like, food that didn't make quality or whatever. Just one little thing was wrong. You could get free food. They would give you cereal every so often. So it did have perks, but no, I'm not spending 12 hours on my feet. And you couldn't listen to anything. They were really strict on that shit.
So you literally just said General Mills, fuck that place. I'm pretty sure we can kiss a sponsorship from General Mills goodbye now.
I don't think we're ever going to get that one. But yeah, so yeah, like I was only there for like 2 weeks. I was still in my training period. And then, Chrysler gave me the offer. They're like, well, do you want to go to Ohio to work at this plant? And we will pay for it for you to move there. I'm like, sign me up. Let's go.
Where do I sign?
You're right.
Snitchy boochies.
I just wanted to use that.
I turned down a job from them too.
Yeah, it's not. Mills. I remember like they offered you a job or whatever, and then like you got on there, and then like you immediately had to leave because you had a vacation planned, and then when you came back, you pretty much just said, "Well, screw you, I'm leaving." Didn't sound like they were too happy about it, but I'm like, you know what? You can't tell me you're the only person that did that. Didn't like some of your other people get a job there too from the plant that you were at?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did. They're still there, working there. But yeah, a lot of other people were um, took the offer I did. They're like, "Well, I'm gonna go make money and be union and all the our other perks."
Well, that's good. And I was telling Rachel, I was like, when we moved here where we're at now, we had nobody. And I was like, at least you had a lot of the people you moved with, you knew from the plant. So you could at least hang out with some people around there.
Some people, yeah, but it's not like we we all got together and said, "Oh, hey, let's do a reunion thing." But and
Did
some
you all
of them,
get...
went to other plants too. Some of the plants in Michigan.
Okay.
So,
I thought there was only one. Like only
No.
one in that area.
no, Michigan is where most of the plants or the big three are, but they do have some scattered about. Like, I know there's some in Tennessee for Ford. GM has some that are out there too. And then, Ohio's pretty close, so they do that. And then
Okay.
we had our plant,
Nice.
which our plant is coming back. It was in our contract that they negotiated that Belvedere plant is coming back. So I did put in for that. So when that happens, I can move back and they have to pay for it again. So
I like that. You're making your company pay for your shit.
I mean, I still have rights to that plant, even though it's gone. So now that
Would
it's coming
you
back, they have to send me back.
want to go back to Belvedere?
Yes, I put in for it. I would rather be there because at this plant that I'm at right now, it used to be its own thing. Okay, goodbye. it
Sorry,
used
didn't mean that.
it used to be its own thing. So when they got brought into the international union recently, they kind of push back and they still kind of do their own thing. They think that they do it the right way. Whereas in my old plant, I know how things are supposed to be done, and the union
I'm
is a
not.
lot stronger.
I'm not talking about the plant though. I'm just talking about Belvedere in general.
Yeah, I mean, I had no problem with that area.
Yeah.
You're not that far from Madison. You're not that far from Chicago. You're in the middle of it all.
Right. Right.
I mean, kind of where I am in Ohio. It's kind of like a little mini Rockford almost.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
I mean, no. It's kind of got the same problems as Rockford. There's bad areas.
I mean, you could say that about anywhere, really.
True. But yeah, I mean, there's things around here. I like the area I'm in. I just hate where I work for what they do. They let management get away with too much shit, and the company does some shady shit, like making us work fucking 9 hours, 6 days a week when it's the hottest fucking week in the year.
Mm.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. And then, well, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna give us these little fucking slushy things, to help it so we don't fucking drop on the thing. So, yeah, no thanks.
I mean, they figured they should keep you alive for dollar reasons, but that's about it.
Yeah, let me find the meme. Where did I post it?
Yep. And then Junior came in here and said, yeah, I turned down a job from them too. That must be from General Mills.
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Where were you?
I was here.
Stuff in his face.
Oh, what? My wife gave me lunch. She was nice enough to do that. And then she just happened to do it while I was live on the air. So. Well, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, well, you're pulling that up here. Koimiya, so what else has been going on with you guys there in Wisconsin? Or sorry, not in Wisconsin, but up by where you guys are at. Have you guys been getting a lot of the heat that we've been getting here?
There you go.
In Wisconsin, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
When it's 115 in the plant, but HR needs you to go ahead and not die for legality reasons. These fucking little squeeze that like there's zero sugar and basically Gatorade in a little frozen thing. And yeah, you're like, okay, this is what, instead of giving us, like, that's the other thing, they're supposed to be giving us heat breaks, so you're supposed to have more time of just, sitting down and being able to drink water, go to the bathroom. And they didn't do that. They just gave us these fucking things.
So it sounds like they don't care.
I mean, they don't. I've literally watched people drop on the line and they just kick them to the side. Keep going.
Sorry, don't die. That's too much paperwork.
Right. We don't want to do that. But
I actually had considered getting a job at General Mills at one point, and I had just heard that they had treated their people really bad. This was before you had gotten the job there. This is when you were still in the Belvedere plant. But yeah, I had just heard how badly they treat their people, and I was like, do I really want to go into that?
Yeah. I mean, there's some people, like, I've got friends that work there now, and they're still, they say they're happy. And I'm like, okay, if you're happy with those work conditions, you have at it.
So, but yeah, back to the actual show. I know we just got sidetracked there. Sony facing a class action lawsuit over the PlayStation Store. Here's something I didn't see coming. The class action lawsuit has been filed against Sony in the Netherlands over the gaming giant's digital pricing tactics and alleged abuse of dominant market position, spearheaded by the, I'm not sure how to say that. Is that Mashad? And Consument Foundation, a Dutch consumer group under the Fair PlayStation campaign. The lawsuit argues that Sony is inflating prices on the PlayStation Store and restricting consumer choice through monopolistic practices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is it only in the Netherlands? I guess they have stricter laws on a lot of this stuff. I know that.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, they're no stranger to legal trouble after PlayStation Store back in 2022 at high profile 5 billion yen. I don't know. Is that
That's
yen?
not yen. Nope, that's pounds.
Pounds?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 billion pound class action lawsuit was filed against Sony in the UK. Set to go to trial in 2026. It alleges that Sony
still hasn't even gone to trial.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they breached competition law by enforcing restrictive terms on developers and publishers selling games in the PlayStation Store. The Dutch lawsuit against Sony filed earlier this year builds on these accusations, but focuses specifically on the impact within the Netherlands, where PlayStation holds a whopping 80% share of the console market.
See, and that right there is where I disagree with it's like, oh, we're going to claim that they have a monopoly because reasons. You know, more people own a PlayStation than an Xbox, so that's a monopoly. Well, maybe Xbox just doesn't sell in the Netherlands. That's not Sony's fault. That's Microsoft's fault. So to argue that it's a monopoly is kind of a bullshit strawman argument because of the fact that Xbox just doesn't sell there.
Well, is Xbox out there, or do they just not sell well there? Because there is a difference.
I'm sure they're there. I'm pretty sure that they are available in the Netherlands. Let's find out. You never know.
But I'm kind of surprised that this kind of stuff doesn't happen in America too, unless they're just more open about it.
We have less consumer laws than they have there. They have more regulatory councils that stop that, like the whole loot box thing that started over there and then kind of came here a little bit, but not as much as over there. So we do filter it somewhat into our own shit, but it's more there that they give a fuck. And try and stop that shit.
So
Yeah.
Xbox systems, Game Pass, and cloud gaming are available in the Netherlands.
So then they just don't sell well there, or
No.
not as well.
So
All right. Moving on, we do have another story to go through here. So did you guys hear that Disney is actually suing Midjourney? Like Disney, along with DreamWorks.
Yes, we
It's
talked
doing-
about that not last week, the week before that.
The week before. Well, apparently they're in talks with OpenAI amid their lawsuit with Midjourney, which kind of surprised me because I'm like, isn't OpenAI just like Midjourney?
Right. So you're suing them, but in talks with another company. Doesn't that sound like
Well, who knows? Maybe Disney opened up talks with Midjourney, and Midjourney wasn't willing to talk with them, and OpenAI was.
I guess.
It just doesn't make sense that that's basically like saying, hey, I'm at war with this McDonald's, but I'm going to open up talks with this McDonald's.
Right.
Then again, I mean, have you gone to different McDonald's? Sometimes things do taste different.
Just depends on the. Never mind.
Is the shake machine working here? No. Is it working here? No. You have to go like 4 McDonald's over before you get a shake machine that works.
Right.
The one by me never works. I swear to God. I've been there and I tried to order a shake each time just to see if it works. And I've gotten a shake like 3 times in 3 years.
there's one of your first answers right there in that second paragraph.
Okay, as reported by Bloomberg, Disney isn't in
paragraph. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
right there. It says, where did I see it? The reporter also notes that Disney approached the other major studios and streamers about joining the lawsuit against Midjourney, which is a considerably smaller company than OpenAI. There's your answer. They're going after the little guy.
They're trying to get the others again to go against them, kind of like Nintendo was doing, trying to get other people to PlayStation and Xbox to go against the people that were pirating.
So they're going after the little guy just because they can, because they don't have the lawyers.
They don't have the backing, and they think they'll just back down, and it'll be an easy win for them.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
And then they can go to this other one and say, okay, now that we've eliminated your competition, let's make a deal. Like, what will you pay for our characters?
We'll sell you our art and a partnership.
Mm.
Because, I mean, it even says there in that last paragraph, they're not entirely opposed to AI. They allowed Darth Vader in Fortnite.
Right.
Yeah, but they probably saw the financial potential of letting Darth Vader be in there.
So they get rid of the small AI programs like Midjourney, and then open a partnership with OpenAI to lease their artwork and get the money.
So Disney's playing hardball.
Pretty much.
Disney's doing what Disney does.
Disney will Disney.
They're gonna gobble up the little guys and make more money on the side.
Yep, that's exactly it.
What's for lunch, by the way?
Really, you had to say that right as I took a bite.
It sounded crunchy.
You're right.
Welcome to the Asmere section of Garbage In, Garbage Out, where Adam eats things.
The fat dude is eating, whatever. There's Red Baron pizza.
Nice. Now you're gonna get ads for Red Baron pizza in your.
Okay, do you see why I was turning the camera off for a minute when I was doing this? This is what I got to deal with. Actually, that opens up a good question. When you're streaming, when you're doing a live stream, I see a lot of people eat on stream. Do you think it's good to eat on stream, or do you think they should turn their camera off?
I honestly don't care, because, I mean, if you're doing a fucking 8-hour stream, you're going to get hungry.
Right.
You know?
I turn it off sometimes and mute my mic sometimes, but sometimes, yeah, I'm just fucking hungry. Like, if you don't like that, then you can skip that part or whatever. I know, Shenanigans and I have been in Discord when people are eating, and we don't like when they're...
Yeah, and that's why when it's crunchy, I turn the volume off like that, so...
I understand that you don't want to be like right in the fucking mic and try and mute it.
Crunch.
Right, but I mean, you get hungry.
I mean,
She comes
I'll
back.
have
The rage, yeah.
I have a I have a be right back screen. So if I'm hungry, I'll just throw that screen up and I'll go get food. And 9 times out of 10, the food that I'm getting is something that I can finish from the time I leave the kitchen to get back to my computer.
Right.
So, but I mean, I've occasionally eaten on stream, but it's something that I don't hide. I mean, like I said, you're hungry, everybody eats. It's a necessity of life.
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as you're not, like I said, you're not like in the mic trying to do ASMR, like
Mhm.
Unless if that's your thing, then more power to you. And if you got the viewers, then have at it. But yeah. So,
Right.
Junior does come back here too. Disney is known for stealing their art from online places many times. They also were getting in trouble too, like in the actual parks. Some of their set pieces that they were putting out, like in the new Madame Leota's boutique right next to the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, they put some art pieces up there, and it was literally 3D art made by AI that somebody was selling, and they had that piece up there. And then once people noticed what it was, that you could buy it like online like that, it just disappeared. Like it all of a sudden mysteriously was gone after people raged on it and found out what it was.
Mysteriously disappeared.
Right. Right. The ghost fucked with it or whatever. So, they're not opposed to obviously using 3D pieces or whatever.
Yeah. And speaking of Nintendo, we had a couple other stories about Nintendo to go here.
Junior came back too. 1 sec.
Oh.
A guy did 3D painted tiki guys that they stole and then sold in their parks. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
I've heard about that, yeah. Yeah, Disney is one of those companies where I'm just like, you know what? They were so magic when we were kids, and now you peek behind the curtain, and you're like,
I think they've just gotten too big, and I don't think when Walt was in charge of it, I don't think he ever saw it being as big as like what it is now. He always wanted it to be like family and whatnot, and now we get to this.
Yeah, it's like now they're more focused on the almighty dollar instead of trying to actually innovate.
Even just the prices to get into Disneyland and the parks is like they're constantly, always, every year there's a increase in it. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is supposed to be for family to go to Disneyland, have some fun, and now those people can't even fucking get in there because of the prices.
Mm-hmm. How do you say here? It's because Disney.
Because Disney, that copyright has been made as long as it is. I mean, they're about to lose their copyright. They've been fighting it for a while now because Mickey Mouse literally is about to hit open domain. I mean, some of it has, like his early
the Steamboat Willie,
Willie, and that's why we started seeing that. And I think that's also why that new Mouse detective game came out. Is kind of because it's now open domain, so I think that's where that comes from a little too. But yeah, Mickey Mouse is about to hit that, and they've been fighting it and trying to prolong it and everything, and we'll see what they come up with.
Hopefully they can do something good. So yeah, Nintendo is still kind of on their apology tour, so to speak. We're sorry. But yeah, the Switch 2 owners
we are deeply sorry. We're sorry.
We're sorry. I love that actually goes on for like 45 seconds, but
play the whole thing.
Yeah, Switch 2 owners are warned against buying the console used due to Nintendo's Anti-Piracy Act. there was actually a guy that responded on our page saying like this is like the stupidest thing ever, and this is why he doesn't necessarily want a Switch. But some Switch 2 owners are warning that consumers against buying the console secondhand due to the Anti-Piracy Act. Specifically, there's a non-zero chance that used Switch 2 unit has been banned online. From online services, and confirming its status is not straightforward.
I mean, you could say that about buying a used PlayStation or Xbox as well. I mean, Sony and Microsoft both have the powers to brick your console essentially from online networks. And since you basically need a PSN or an Xbox account to do anything these fucking days, buying a used system, it's the same gamble, you know.
Well, isn't that why when you sell it to GameStop or any of these secondhand stores, they plug it in and test it and test the connection?
They just make sure it turns on. They don't test the fucking internet connection for it.
Yeah, they don't know
And I mean,
that one's actually banned or whatever.
Yeah, they don't test any of that. They just make sure the system turns on and the controller fucking works. It's like 30 seconds. I know this because I used to work at a GameStop. They don't test it for, you know, internet bans or anything like that. And hell, I don't think they even test the disk drives I mean, does it open? Yeah. Well, I mean, now it's all, you know, you feed the disk into the slot. But I mean, you know, this is yelling at clouds, because you could be saying the same thing about the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think they're just going off of like, so say somebody did pirate something, and then their system got banned. Then they took that system and took it to a reseller and said, "Hey, I want to get rid of this. I don't want it anymore," whatever the case may be. Then someone else buys that system. It's already been banned in the system, so they're fucked. They can't get online or do whatever. I think that's where they're going with that, not just, you know...
No, it is.
They're just going to ban it just because it was resold to somebody else.
No.
And then I think I saw in there that article that they were saying that, you know, it's
a brick system.
It's hard to look it up that it's, you know, banned.
Yeah, it's a brick. Yeah, junior, exactly. You know, it says people used to do that all the time from PS3 on, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Is this article is just yelling at Nintendo for the sake of yelling at Nintendo when Sony and Xbox do the same exact fucking thing. You know, it could happen to any of those systems.
Okay, so yeah, I totally understand that. It just seems like it's hitting these guys even harder. Maybe now it's just that people are whining about it, but.
That's exactly what it is. It's the new system. It's the new
system, and Nintendo's, you know, cracking down on it hard because people have tried to use some of their modded stuff, and they have banned them for it. Which
it'd be no different than like you jailbreaking your phone, and then it gets banned. So then you trade that back into Verizon and go, "Oh, I don't want this one anymore." And or you know, somebody sells it as a refurbed phone.
Right.
And
same
they
thing,
can't do shit.
Yeah. And they just brought a brick phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Junior, jump back in here.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
When I worked at Best Buy, we had a kid that would be in every month because he was always banned. Jesus.
I don't remember. I worked with Junior at Best Buy. I don't remember that, but then again, he was there much longer than I was, so it might have been. But yeah, and speaking of Nintendo, there's actually one more thing going on with Nintendo here. Remember when they said that they were going to have enough consoles for everybody that wanted one? Well, apparently they didn't.
Remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm.
I remember.
I love their cookies.
Member berries.
I remember.
We need to get those. I remember.
Yeah.
Remember Star Wars? Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, Nintendo's president apologizes for not being able to meet Switch 2 demand. The response far exceeded our expectations. I say if your expectations are 10 million, make it 40 million.
Here's my
question.
You're
never going to hit those numbers.
What the fuck did he expect? Honestly.
I mean, I want to say they did a pretty fucking bang up job that, you know, they were able to have pre-orders.
what, you have 1 billion systems stolen or whatever it was, or no, that was the dollar amount, but what a truckload of Switch 2 stolen or whatever. I mean, that doesn't help. But the thing of it is, he came out before the Switch launch saying, we're going to have enough for everybody. And then I think, honestly, he probably thought it wasn't going to sell that well, because when the Switch 2, I mean, we've made fun of the fucking...
We ripped on it up at one side and down the other.
Yeah, we were like, what the hell is this? What kind of show was this? Da, da, da. I ain't paying that fucking price for the system. So he probably expected the people to not buy it, and then that there would be enough.
Right.
But at the same time, it's fucking Nintendo. People are going to buy that shit. You know?
I mean, they've still done good. It's like the fastest selling console, I believe. They've done like 3.5 million in its first month. That's like unfucking heard of. So they've done a good job keeping up with it, and you can still kind of find it in stores. I've seen it. I haven't personally seen it. I've seen pictures where it's still out and about. Like they're still getting some in.
I'm sure it's easier to find than the PS5 was when that launched.
The PS5 was ridiculous.
That was a shit show.
I mean, I want to say they've lived up to some of their things. Yeah, not it's not like everybody can just go in the store and immediately get it all the fucking time.
Cyclops, that's your screen, right?
Huh?
That's your screen you're sharing?
Yeah.
Your Windows bar at the bottom is annoying the hell out of me. You gotta have that shit in dark mode, man. Or have it disappear like I do.
I was gonna say, have it disappear while we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
How do I get this to disappear? I've never...
If you right-click... We're not going to go on to this in the middle of the show.
I've never done that, so... Okay.
Well, we've already gone past our 2 hour...
Oh, we have. Holy shit.
Torment.
Yeah, but this has been a fun show.
It's been something.
It has. We've jumped around, that's for sure.
That is very sure.
But yeah, so I would say that they lived up to about 85% of expectations, which is what you should expect.
I mean, I say they've done better than, like you said, the PS5. A lot of people have gotten them that wanted them. You can still kind of get them regularly.
I will say this much. I know personally 3 people in real life, Neo being one of them, that got the Switch 2. And yes, we've seen it, 3 times now?
That's the third time, damn it. Third time.
So...
I'm just waiting for Donkey Kong.
Having seen that, having seen them and the excitement that they've had for that system, I'm not going to say, God damn it, now I want one. But I will say I've dusted off my Switch and I've started playing that again. Mm-hmm. Like, I've started playing, I've restarted Bravely Default 2. I'm almost finished with Link's Awakening. And then I just picked up Mario Odyssey. And the main reason why I picked up Mario Odyssey was because there's that rumor going around online that Donkey Kong is a prequel to Mario Odyssey. Did you hear about this?
I've heard about it, yeah.
And so I'm like, well, now I really got to play Mario Odyssey. And I've been really having a blast with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game.
So the Switch 2 release has not made me go, oh my god, I need a Switch 2 yet, but it has made me go, okay, I need to play my Switch again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so it's wearing on you.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yep, and then one last story that we have here, one that KoimiaX brought up to us before the show here. Apparently, Randy Pitchford is just pissing everyone off again.
I mean, when isn't he? But
yeah, he makes people mad again by warning that Borderlands 4 will take even longer to get deep discounts than Borderlands 3 did. Sometimes not tweeting is the best option, but what fun is that?
What is he talking about? So
Borderlands 3 is on sale right now for 95% off, and he's saying it's been 5 years since the game came out. But don't expect it to be 5 years before Borderlands 4 gets a price drop. It'll be longer. That's what he's essentially.
Yeah, I bet you anything it'll be the same amount, or if not, in the same year they'll have a price drop. So,
yeah, Yeah, and it says sales like this Borderlands 3 showing up on console subscription programs took over 5 years from the game's launch to happen. Pitchford wrote on X, "Take advantage when it's here." Good advice. Borderlands 3 has been around since 2019, and there's a good chance that you've already got it. But if you don't, hey, $3. Thank you, Randy, for bringing this to our attention.
You guys check the studio chat a second.
Oh, the studio chat for them?
No, just for us three, the private chat.
Okay.
I want your thoughts on that.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I think so. Final thing of the day.
Yes, yes, we should.
Let me do these comments here. What's the old adage? Any press is good press. Yep. Or if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back. I'm sorry, but other than not having the money, I just don't have the energy to deal with all these new systems. They're junky BS. It's not like back in the days, the
uniqueness
of the NES and Sega. Yeah. I mean, you're just... especially with the Switch 2, like you did give us like 60 frames, and you've done a little bit, but it's not like a huge jump. It's not like going from fucking PlayStation 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, like where we've had huge jumps and put in SSD drives so that you get that lightning fast load times now. I mean, they're trying to do that with the SD card that they have to put in. You have to put in there. It has to be a special one because it's kind of like that same speeds as an SSD. I mean, you're trying, but you're not. Like, you could have done so much more, and
like you're trying-ish.
Yeah, you. This could have just been, this is, the Switch Pro instead of a 2, So that's how I see it. Yeah. Thank you.
Is it fantastic?
Yes, it is fantastic.
Yes, it is fantastic.
It'll be even more fantastic when I can play Donkey Kong on it, which I took the day off to play that, and then took the next day off to play the new the Shadow one, the Pac-Man one.
Oh yeah.
That
one looks awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one too.
All right. Yep, and so before we end here, I do want to mention on the 8th, we are actually going to have a doctor come on to the show who is going to talk about different things that she's going to be talking about how she has used video games to help children and adults with traumatic experiences and helping them process. That will be coming on July 8th. We're really looking forward to that. And I believe we have another announcement coming up here.
Yes, in October. What the fuck? In August. We haven't got an official date pinned down just yet. I got to email him back, but we are going to actually be having Angel, the CEO and co-founder of Beam, the platform that I stream on and that we use to restream our show out to several channels. He is going to graciously join us on our channel. He was in our chat last weekend, and he answered Neo and I's a bunch of our questions, and he was on for a good 15-20 minutes hanging out with us, chatting in the chat room.
Of course, that's the time when I wasn't here.
Yeah, and so then, long story short, they had tweeted a thing a couple days later. After our show ended, Neo and I were joking. We're like, "Dude, we should try and get Angel on our show." And
actually, when he was chatting, I thought about just saying, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And but I didn't know if he would.
Yeah,
or what.
Yeah, right. But a couple days later, Beam tweeted out a thing that he was going to be on some other streamer's show. And so I just, as a joke, retweeted it and tagged Neo, and I was like, "Hey, should we shoot our shot?" And he responded. He's like, "I would love to be on Garbage In, Garbage Out. Here's my email address. Get in contact." So we're working on one of our days in August. I just got to hear back from him, but we're going to have the CEO and co-founder of Beam on our show.
Mm-hmm. We are
That's so cool.
super excited about that. I'm just like, should we watch our mouths or should we just go?
I think we should just be ourselves because, like I said, that initial email that I had sent him, I had a couple of basic questions, and I said, "Can we? Is there anything we can't talk about?" And he's like, "We can talk about anything." I had said, do you want our questions beforehand? And he's like, "I believe in living in the moment, so I say we just go as ourselves."
Let's
know?
do it.
So, yeah.
We'll probably have to put some things together for us just beforehand, so we're not all talking over each other. But
right. But yeah,
I want to do some promotional things, trying to get some more views during that time. So the month of July, I will try and do more promotional.
Yep, I'm working on setting up an official Garbage In, Garbage Out Beam channel. I've got the name registered already, and it's the same as our Kick and our Twitch, which is Garbage In, Garbage Out Show. And so like you can see my stream on there, beamstream.gg /KoimiaX. It would be beamstream.gg /Garbage In, Garbage Out Show. So I am working on that. I also would think maybe we should email StreamYard to say, hey, get that Beam API so that we can have the Beam chat in our show as well.
Yeah. Today, like, I had nothing in Beam. Well, I did, again, I had Facebook. Someone, Looker was commenting on Facebook again, and it didn't show up in my Beam.
Huh, that's weird. But like I had told you before the show, Beam has, I've seen in their Discord, they've been having some issues with Facebook and YouTube. Right. So, but yeah,
I wonder, that's a good question we can ask them. Like, I wonder if the other ones are fighting back now that Twitch is, waving their shit around. The other ones are starting to think the same way or something.
Maybe YouTube, but Facebook. I mean, Facebook doesn't really put a dent in the streaming world. Right. I mean, they got Mixer and then just kind of shit the bed. They took something great because Mixer was fantastic, and then just shit the bed with it. And but yeah, I'm excited to have Angel on. I think that's really cool. And you don't see the CEO of Twitch or YouTube or Kick even. Well, I think Kick Aiden. I think Kick. Their CEO Eddie. I think he does his own streaming and does shows, but you have to be big name Uber influencer, right, to have him on. Whereas we're just three peons on the internet, and Angel's going to be joining us. So. Right.
Honestly, I still can't believe he said yes. So
I'm so floored. I really am.
I know.
And I mean, you weren't here last week, but we were talking about Beam, and we actually got several people who were watching our show to go look into Beam.
I think Junior was one of them.
Junior, I believe, was one of them, and Granny B Gaming.
Granny B Gaming.
Which she's not here today, but I guess. But Granny B Gaming said she was going to check out Beam as well.
Right.
So.
All right. So, yeah, I've got a lot of exciting things coming up. Was there anything else you guys had to say before we end the show?
That's all I had.
So on our outro, Cyclops, where can the peoples find you?
So, so you can find me on all of the socials. I usually do my streaming Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on Twitch from usually about 9:30 at night to about 12:30 a.m. Been doing a lot of Spider-Man and Indiana Jones lately, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I can't wait to continue with Indiana Jones. That game's a lot of fun. You can also find me on Instagram with that Cyclops Guy. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me through the Garbage In, Garbage Out podcast pages on Facebook. And we just started an X page or Twitter page, whichever you want to call it now, whatever. But yep, you can find our pages on there. And you can also find us on Discord.
Sorry, your green screen cutoff was bothering me. Yeah, my big one is on X. It's just at KoimiaX. That's where I keep up to date with everything and all that. I stream, as you can see, beamstream.gg /KoimiaX. I am on Twitch. I am on Kick. I am as well, but all under KoimiaX. I actually do plan on streaming tonight. I'm looking at a 10:30 Central Time, and I'm going to be playing a new game called Section 13. It's a twin stick shooter roguelike game. Looked interesting, so I picked it up, and yeah, I will be on at 10:30 p.m. Central. And if you follow me on my channels, just watch for the go live notification.
Hey, how's it going? Yes, I stream on Twitch and also repost all my videos to YouTube. That's my main ones I've been doing lately. I am going to be live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for World of Warcraft. We are going to be doing Mythic raiding, which is the hardest one. Hopefully we can get a whole group for that. You have to have 20 people. It has to be 20 because even if you don't have enough, the boss is still super fucking hard. So we're kind of taking two groups that are kind of in a lull right now and combining them together to raid into Mythic. Other than that, I stream every day of the week, usually around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Playing different games between Magic the Gathering Arena, Indiana Jones. I started Chronicles of the Wolf, which is a kind of an indie Metroidvania game. Then there's a couple others I want to add to the list at some point, like Dave the Diver. Maybe that Little Nightmares. That would be a fun one to add to the list now that it's all enhanced. So yeah. And then World of Warcraft is usually on the weekends. So you can catch me on all that on Twitch. So thank you.
All right.
Doki Doki.
Yeah.
You need to add Doki
is
Doki.
Somewhere I gotta go on that list.
I'm sorry, when we do this during the day, it is
He's talking about the other side.
Yep.
The other side?
Yeah,
God
that little. we can get a little peek into Cyclops' kinky
What's behind the
room.
curtain?
Oh my!
A man behind the curtain.
I don't have a kinky room, but
I mean, I've always said I'm not showing that anymore. What's behind me until like I get so many viewers or something.
There are like a lot of whips and chains and like things back there.
That's where the sex swing is, right?
Really? So that's how we're ending the show here.
I just feel like a nerd. Mine's just a bunch of Funko Pops.
We talked about a bunch of video games.
I don't know why you don't just show that. Like, if it's a bunch of nerdy stuff behind you.
Very disorganized right now. So once I get things set up, I might do that. But
I mean, I've seen some cool backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, what people can put on, the IKEA shelving and stuff.
because I actually have a backlit LED light that says KoimiaX that I have hanging up on my wall. But again, it's literally my bedroom wall, and it's the sign, and then you just see the cord hanging down, and like it's and all that. Like I need to get things set up,
Right.
but that would require.
I think at Meijer they had some like light up neon signs, and they had like the PlayStation symbols and like Pac-Man. I was like, ooh, these would be kind of cool to have on a wall.
Yeah,
Like,
my former store leader at one of the old stores I worked at, as a going away gift, she got me an LED sign, and it says KoimiaX, and it has the little Twitch icon
there's the
on
peek.
it as well.
We can peek.
Okay, dude. I know you gave me this green screen, but seriously, it needed to just be 1 inch longer, which is also what she said.
Yeah.
Just turn the camera a little bit.
There we go.
That's what I would do.
I did, but see if I move it, and it's there, or it's there.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to bring it forward a little, and maybe it would go.
You guys and your green screens.
Yeah.
I don't use one.
I mean, yours actually does a good job of taking you out of the picture, but like when you're just using normal like green stuff, you see it through here, it doesn't take it out right. So, I mean, I like my green screen.
This is the green screen show. All of a sudden,
I mean, when I'm streaming, I don't have this background behind me. Then I'll usually just remove the background completely like that. But,
Right.
you know, for the show, I'll do that.
We saw a flash of it. I'm going to edit that now. I got it.
No, what the-
There, got it.
I think I saw
All
a
right.
fan. That's all I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I mean, I could do the blur, you know. So,
Right.
yeah.
But all right, well, that's been fun, and apparently now that I have it perfect, we have to end the show. So,
No more sex swing, people.
Nope. Until next time.
I-
And we'll visit the sex dungeon.
all right, and remember, haters gonna hate, and gamers got a game.
Laters!
Good night, everybody.